Kurama chuckled. Somebody has a crush, he teased. Naruto glared comically at the tailed beasts in his mindscape while they laughed at him, before returning to reality. Most magic swordsmen can only swap their weapons, but Erza can also change her armor to enhance her abilities. It's a unique talent that only she possesses, a technique called the Knight. Happy explained. As Erza's transformation completed, she stood in heavy armor with wings sprouting from her back, wielding two swords. Naruto smiled. Oh wow! Lucy exclaimed. Now dance my swords. Erza shouted. I knew it. It has to be them. The green-haired guy said, realization dawning on him too late. Circle of swords. Erza shouted, sending the swords that encircled her at the members, effectively taking them down. Whoa! She took most of them down with a single swipe. Naruto was also incredible. I've never seen anyone with such speed and strength before. All of their powers and skills are beyond imagination. Lucy said in awe. Happy agreed. Alright, you're dealing with me now, one member shouted, charging towards the three teens. Don't do it, Do you have any idea who that woman and that man are? The green-haired guy warned. Naruto noticed and jumped towards Erza and her attacker from the side, arriving just in time to deliver a powerful punch to the attacker's face before Erza could even lift her swords. Knocking the attacker out, he declared, that woman is the queen of the fairies. Titania Erza. And that man. The whiskers, the red coat, the familiar features. I didn't really think it was actually him, but it is. That man is the legendary fairy tale ninja, the chubby member exclaimed. As Erza re-equipped back into her default armor, Naruto picked up his kunai. Oh man, I think I'm in love with both Naruto-kun and Erza-san. Lucy squealed. Forget this. I'm outta here. The chubby guy said frantically, running away in fear, not wanting to face two legendary warriors. I imagine he's going to look for Aragorn. You should go after him, Erza suggested. Who, me? Lucy said nervously. Erza began to look irritated. Just do it. Naruto-kun, please follow her. Erza insisted. Whatever you say. I don't want to make you angry. Lucy said frantically as she, Naruto, and Happy began their search. Erza sighed and fell to her knees, nearly depleted of her magic energy. Gray was right, I overdid it with the magic mobile. Please boys don't fail me, she begged. I can't believe she's making us work together. What was she thinking? Gray wondered. Obviously she wasn't thinking. Everyone knows that fire and ice don't mix. She should have just sent Whiskers down. He could probably handle Aragorn without a problem. Natsu added. Why does she always have to be so bossy? Gray exclaimed. She should ask us instead of ordering us around. Natsu said. I don't need your help. I can handle Aragorn all by myself. Are you copying me? They both shouted childishly, but they immediately stopped when they saw two paths ahead. Which way do we go? Natsu asked. I guess we'll just have to split up, Gray replied, turning his back to Natsu. Natsu, we're up against an evil freak who is getting ready to unleash a deadly spell. If you find him, give him a thrashing. Gray said, turning to face the pink-haired dragon slayer, giving him a thumbs up and a genuine smile. You don't have to worry about that. I've got a bone to pick with that guy for messing with Fairy Tail. I'm going to burn him to a crisp. Natsu assured, smiling back. But they immediately turned away from each other. Don't die on me, Gray whispered quietly. Huh. Natsu replied, confused. Nothing later, loser. Gray said, running off. Natsu looked back and ran off himself. Gray noticed a speaker and realization hit him hard. So that's it, Aragorn is going to play the lullaby through the speaker system, Gray said to himself. XXX Broadcast Studio XXX. Gray kicked down the door and walked inside, only to find the room empty. There is nobody here. Gray exclaimed in shock. Maybe I was wrong about him broadcasting through the system's PA, he said, not noticing Rayul hanging from the ceiling above him. Rayul chuckled and attacked him with his black strings, but Gray swiftly evaded the attack, landing on the ground and facing his attacker. That was a pretty good guess, pal, but our plan isn't as obvious as you might think, Rayul said, smirking evilly. So tell me what the plan is and you won't get hurt, Gray demanded, smirking back. The civilians of the town looked up to see Erza approaching the balcony of the train station, concern etched on their faces. If you value your lives, you must leave this place at once. This station has been taken over by evil wizards. They are planning to cast a deadly spell over the loudspeakers that would endanger everyone here. I beg you, run as far as you can, Erza announced. Upon hearing such terrible news, the crowd fled the station, fearing for their lives. Hey lady, why would you make everyone panic like that? One angry employee asked. I would rather have them panic than watch them perish. In fact, you gentlemen need to evacuate as well. Now that I've cleared the train station, I wonder what Aragorn's next move will be, Erza pondered, turning back to look at the station only to gasp in shock. Her eyes widened as she saw a giant whirlwind encircling the entire train station. It's some kind of wind barrier. Urza shouted in disbelief. At the same time, Aragorn reappeared, floating just behind her and chuckling ominously. Rayul swung his black strings at Gray again, who evaded the attacks effortlessly. There is no escape from my attacks. Rayul shouted. Gray got up, holding his palm out and placing his other hand in a fist on top of it, preparing to unleash his magic. An icy aura surrounded him as a magic circle formed. Ice make shield. Gray chanted, and immediately, an icy shield was summoned, protruding from the ground. This punk uses ice magic? Rayul said in disbelief. Ice make knuckle. Gray shouted, summoning a barrage of icy fists that pounded Rayul, sending him crashing through the walls as he screamed in pain. Gray stood over him, looking down at the wall he had knocked him into. This is your last chance to tell me what you're planning. You're not going to cast the lullaby song over the PA system. Gray asked. Rayul chuckled. Aragorn's barrier should be activated by now. Aragorn's what? Gray demanded. He's created a wind barrier that will keep you insects from escaping. Rayul answered. I've always wanted the opportunity to fight the Queen of the Fairies and the Fairy Tale Ninja, but unfortunately, I don't have time to play with you right now, Aragorn said, holding his palm up and sending Urza behind the wind barrier. Aragorn! Urza shouted, running over and attempting to break free from the barrier, but she was repelled. It's useless. There is no way you'll be able to break through my magic sealing barrier. You see, it's one way only. If you try to escape, the wind will tear you apart. Aragorn explained. What is the meaning of this, you scoundrel? Urza asked angrily. We've wasted enough time with you fairy tale pests. Now, if you'll excuse me, Aragorn said, flying away. Come back here. Curse you, Aragorn. I will find a way to stop you. So he wasn't targeting the station at all. Just what is he planning? Urza wondered, clutching her arm in pain. Gray slammed Rayul into the wall angrily. Why don't I get straight to the point here, buddy? Tell me what the plan is, or else. Gray demanded. We knew you pests would cause problems, so he lured you here and trapped you. The only reason we took over this station is to block traffic to the final stop. We didn't want any trains to get into Clover Station, Rayul began. Yeah? Why? Gray asked. Because that's where it's going down. Clover's just beyond the giant canyon, and this train line is the only way in and out of town unless you're able to fly like Aragorn, Rayul answered. So the lullaby's in Clover? Gray said. You know what else is there right now? Think hard and you'll get it, Rayul said, slowly weaving his strings. Gray noticed but was too late. The strings struck him and sent him flying. Gotcha! Rayul shouted. Clover! That's where the conference is being held. So this was their plan all along. They're targeting the guild masters. Gray finally realized. Rayul cackled. You finally figured it out, huh? Well, it's too late to stop us now, he shouted, striking Gray with his strings again, sending him flying while Gray held his hand to block the attack. You Idenwald thugs must be pretty brave taking on such a powerful group of wizards. Gray said. Those ignorant old folks won't even know what hit them once the lullaby song starts playing. There is no way Aragorn's plan will fail. Rayul declared confidently as his strings ensnared Gray, who struggled against the binding restraints. You and your little fairy friends are trapped in the station, and there's nothing you can do about it. Soon, we'll have our revenge on everyone who tried to keep us down. When we're done, they'll be completely eliminated. Rayul assured him. Gray gritted his teeth, fighting to break free, but it seemed hopeless. Then he began to activate his ice magic, gradually freezing the strings that held him captive. With a sudden burst of strength, Gray shot his arms out, breaking free from the black threads. That's not going to happen, Gray exclaimed, his icy magic spreading towards Rayul and freezing his legs. Let me make this clear. When you mess with the guild masters, you mess with all of us. They may be older, but they're the closest thing we have to family. Gray said fiercely, gripping Rayul's face. Just come out and fight already. Natsu shouted, racing through the halls, unaware that Kage was lurking right behind him in the shadows. Kage chuckled darkly. Looks like it's time for me to strike. We will stop you, Urza vowed. Now where did that hefty one run off to? Lucy wondered aloud as she, Naruto, and Happy dashed through the corridors in search of their enemy. You better find him, or Urza's going to be furious, Happy warned, causing Lucy to gasp in fear. Yet something had been troubling Naruto for some time, ever since their encounter with Isenwald. He frowned, and Lucy noticed, glancing at him with concern. Naruto-kun? What's wrong? She asked. Naruto snapped back to reality and met her gaze. Oh, it's just something that's been bothering me, he replied, halting in his tracks. Lucy and Happy paused as well, turning to face their friend. They walked back to Naruto, standing beside him as he pondered deeply. Remember, Naruto, always look underneath, Kakashi's words echoed in his mind. Look underneath, he murmured. What, Naruto-kun? Lucy asked, puzzled. What do you mean by that, Whiskers? Happy inquired. My old sensei from the elemental nations had this saying. Ever since we met Aragorn, it's been nagging at me. I have a feeling Aragorn may not be targeting the station after all, Naruto concluded. Why do you think that, Naruto-kun? Lucy asked. Yeah, Whiskers. Happy echoed. Naruto shook his head, doubting himself. Maybe I'm overthinking it, he thought. Never mind, I'm probably wrong. Let's just keep searching, it's just a theory, Naruto said, resuming his run. Lucy and Happy exchanged worried glances, contemplating his words. Look underneath, maybe Whiskers is onto something, Happy said. We'll just have to keep searching and find out. Come on, Happy, let's catch up to him, Lucy urged. Aye, Happy replied, and they both sprinted to follow Naruto, continuing their search for their friend. When I get my hands on them, I'll show them that Fairy Tail can be more terrifying than any dark guild, Gray declared, walking away triumphantly, leaving Rayul frozen in place. Meanwhile, Natsu continued his relentless pursuit, determined to find his opponent, unaware that his adversary had been right behind him all along. Just forget it, lady. There's no one doing Aragorn's barrier, you and your friends are stuck, Bayard said weakly. Urza looked at him and sighed. Urza! Gray shouted suddenly from the balcony. Urza looked up. What are you doing here? I thought you were with Natsu, she asked. We decided to split up. But that's not important right now. Listen, I just found out Eisenwald's real target is Clover, the next town over. Aragorn is heading towards the conference as we speak, planning to use the lullaby to eliminate the guild masters. Gray explained urgently. Urza shot a fierce glare at her captive, causing him to tremble. Why didn't you tell me? She demanded. There's a problem. The station is surrounded by a wind barrier, Urza said more calmly this time. Yeah, I know. I saw it earlier. If you try to break through that thing, it'll tear you apart, Gray replied. I've already tried that, Urza said, clutching her arm in pain. Gray finally noticed and looked worried. Whoa, is your arm okay? He asked with concern. That's not important. What matters is getting out of here. We must stop Aragorn before he reaches the Guild Masters Conference. Wait a minute, I remember them talking about someone named Kage back at the pub. We have to find him, Gray. He was the one who broke the lullaby's seal. Urza said, realizing that Kage could probably dispel the wind barrier. A dispeller, huh? A seal-breaking wizard who can take down the wind barrier, Gray noted. That's what I'm hoping for. Now let's start searching. Wait, Gray said. What is it, Gray? Urza asked. Whiskers also uses seals, he calls it Fuinjutsu. Maybe he can dispel it too since he carries around a scroll with sealings on it, Gray suggested. Well, I don't know. Naruto is a ninja, not a wizard. The seals he uses may differ from ours. Let's go find Kage just in case. If he refuses, we can try asking Naruto to break the wind barrier. Now let's go, Urza said. Right. Gray agreed. Karaka, how long are you going to hide back there? Urza's captive wondered as a magic circle appeared on the wall, revealing a chubby green-haired man named Karaka. I'm sorry, I was scared, Karaka said nervously. Find Kage before they do. Go now, he urged. No, please don't make me. You know I'm no good in a fight. Karaka whined. Calm down, it's a simple job. Even you can handle this, he assured. Karaka only stared back. Lucy groaned, this is useless. I can't find him anywhere. What do you say we just head back to where Urza is? Lucy suggested. Naruto chuckled. You've got guts, Luchan, Naruto teased, while Happy screamed in terror. Whoa, what's with the reactions? Lucy wondered. Urza gave you an order to go after the fat man. You have to do what she says, Lucy. Ignoring an order from Urza is never a good idea. She's going to be super angry with you, and when Urza is angry, not even Whiskers can save you. And I have to watch her punish you. Happy said in fear. Lucy shrieked, immediately clinging tightly to Naruto's arm. What kind of punishment are we talking about here? Hey, I was just kidding. I would never give up on a mission like that. Lucy assured, cuddling Naruto's arm anxiously. I guess the thought of Urza's punishment scared some sense into you, huh, Luchan? Naruto chuckled. Happy agreed. Oh, just shut up, you guys, Lucy said. Elsewhere, explosions erupted everywhere, mostly caused by none other than Natsu Dragneel. Aragorn! Come out wherever you are, he shouted furiously, punching everything in sight. Kage watched in amazement. Geez, hasn't he heard of a door? He deadpanned. Where is he? Natsu mumbled angrily. Now that Aragorn made it out safely, this kid doesn't pose much of a threat. I could just let him go, but where's the fun in that? Kage thought wickedly as he finally rose from the ground. Natsu felt the presence and turned to face his opponent. As he turned, Kage took the opportunity to push Natsu against the wall with his shadows. I've wanted to do that for a while now. Had enough, fairy tale insect? Now, where is the other one? Kage taunted. Natsu struggled out of the rubble and stood up, only to find a poster wrapped around his head. Not you again. Natsu shouted. Kage chuckled. Wow, you look ridiculous. Where is your other blonde friend? I wonder if he is just as foolish, he said. Natsu scowled. Shut it, doggy. Don't you dare call Whiskers an idiot, he could take you down easily. Natsu defended himself and his friend. Get it right, it's Kage. The name is Kage. Kage corrected angrily. Well, same thing, Natsu mumbled. Anyway, I think I've got you figured out this time. You eat flames to increase your power, that big trick shouldn't be that hard to stamp out, Kage taunted. Natsu growled comically. Now I really want to teach you a lesson, but I don't have time. Natsu shouted angrily, his head bursting into flames, burning the poster off. Tell me where Aragorn is. Natsu demanded. Kage smirked. You think I'm just going to tell you that? If you really want to know, then you're going to have to beat it out of me. Kage said. Knuckle shadow. Kage shot his shadows at Natsu, who blocked it by holding his hands out in front of him like a cross. So, I get to knock you around and get the info I want? That's killing two birds with one stone. I'm getting all fired up. Natsu smirked. Happy, Naruto, and Lucy noticed rubble falling from the ceiling. Why is the building shaking like that? Lucy asked, but Naruto smirked, knowing full well that it was none other than his pink-haired friend. Kage continued shooting shadows at Natsu, who evaded each one with ease while Kage stared in frustration. Alright, fairy, Kage thought. Snake shadow. You can't run this time. They'll tear you to pieces. Kage shouted arrogantly. Natsu smirked, looking unfazed. Natsu slammed his fists together. I've got this, he said confidently. Fire dragon. Wing attack. Natsu shouted, swinging his fiery arms at Kage's snake shadows, incinerating them instantly while Kage stared in shock. Impossible. He was able to defeat them in one shot. So much power. I didn't think so much power existed, Kage said in awe. Natsu lit up his fist. You ready to talk? Because I've got a fireball with your name on it. Natsu smirked. Kage could only stare in horror. You're a monster. Kage shouted as Natsu launched a fireball toward him, creating a commotion that caught the attention of all his teammates. Was that him? Gray asked. Yes, Erza replied. Natsu. Naruto and Lucy exclaimed in unison. Man, if you can't even defeat me, then forget about beating Whiskers. And look at what you made me do. I was trying not to mess up the whole place this time. Anyway, I feel better, sorry I had to take you down, Dorama. Natsu apologized. I told you it's Kageyama. Kage corrected him again. Whatever, just tell me where Aragorn is, or you're going to get burned, Natsu said. Kage chuckled. He's long gone, you idiot. He's not even in this station. Anymore. What? Natsu shouted in disbelief. Natsu! Erza called out, and he halted in his tracks. Do not harm him. We need him alive, she insisted. Way to go, you fire freak. Gray added. Natsu was confused as Erza drew her sword and leaped toward him, causing him to tremble. I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry. Natsu exclaimed, only to realize Erza's target was not him. You will dispel the wind barrier, and you will do so without complaint. Erza demanded, making Kage tremble in fear. Just do it, man. This girl's a real monster. Natsu said. Shut up, Natsu. Gray shouted. Understood. Erza ordered. Fine, I'll dispel it. Kage replied. But his eyes widened as a hand shot through his body, and Kage groaned in pain. But, Karaka, he gasped before falling limp to the ground. The voice of his own words echoed in Karaka's mind, causing him to shake in fear. Kage! Erza shouted, and Natsu stared in shock. No. He was our only way out of here. Gray exclaimed. Kage, don't you dare die on us. Where is Naruto-kun? We need him to heal Kage. He is the only one who can heal such a wound. Erza pleaded. Please don't die on us. We need your help, do you hear me? Erza begged. I think we're losing him, Erza. Damn it, Whiskers better get here fast. Gray said. You're the only one of us who can dispel the wind barrier. Just hang on. Natsu, Gray, can you contact the others somehow? We need Naruto-kun to get here ASAP. Erza urged. Natsu clenched his fists in anger. How could you do this to one of your friends? He demanded. Karaka looked fearfully at Natsu. He's a member of your guild. He trusted you, and you tried to hurt him. Natsu shouted, causing Karaka to tremble and disappear back into the wall as his teammates looked on. How could you? Natsu yelled, not caring that Karaka was in the wall. He punched the wall with such force that it knocked Karaka out for good. Is that how you Dark Guild members treat each other? Natsu asked. Please, Kage, just stay with us. Urza begged. He's unconscious, it's no use. Without Whiskers here, he will die. Whiskers is the only one capable of healing him. Gray said. We can't let him die, he's our only way out of here. Urza insisted. But there's no way he can use magic in his condition. We should just wait until Whiskers gets here. Gray replied. If I force him, he will. Urza said, knocking on Kage's body in frustration. Bad timing, huh? Lucy said. Aye, Happy agreed. Naruto noticed and rushed over to Urza's side. Urza, stop. I am here. Naruto shouted. Urza looked up at him, relief washing over her. Naruto-kun. You're finally here, she exclaimed. I'm so close to Clover and the guild masters, I can almost taste it. What's more, the magic energy I used to create the wind barrier is almost fully recharged. Now it's time. You fools not only took away our work, but you robbed us of our rights, and now I'm going to make you pay. The Reaper's cleansing. Aragorn shouted as he continued toward Clover. What? Aragorn wants to use Lullaby on the guild masters. Lucy exclaimed in shock. We have to stop him. Natsu said. That's easier said than done. Aragorn cut off our only means to reach Clover and is headed over there by air, Urza explained. I'm pretty sure we can catch up to him on the magic mobile, but we can't figure out how to do anything until we figure out how to get on the other side of the barrier, Gray said. How are we going to do that? Lucy asked. Naruto scowled, contemplating. Could I use Fuinjutsu on this? Natsu charged at the barrier with a glowing fist and struck it, but it wouldn't budge. Instead, it sent him flying. Natsu! Naruto shouted, rushing over to him and extending a helping hand, which Natsu took. See, that's what happens if you try to bust through, Gray said, while Lucy shook in concern. That's it, I'm going to try Fuinjutsu on it since I still don't fully trust that Kage guy yet, Naruto thought. Kage, wake up. You are our only hope. Naruto-kun, will you heal him? Urza asked. Naruto scowled and looked down. I've got to try to save Makarov. Natsu shouted, preparing to strike the barrier again, but Naruto's stern voice stopped him. Well? Urza asked. Naruto shook his head. No, I'm not going to heal him, he said, pausing as his teammates gasped. But why, Whiskers? Natsu asked. Is he going to try his Fuinjutsu? Urza wondered. Why won't he heal Kage? Does he not fully trust him yet? Naruto-kun, why won't you heal him? He is our only way out, Lucy pleaded. Naruto smiled. What are you smiling about? Natsu asked irritably. That's not true. I'm not healing him because I still don't trust him yet. What if I healed him back to full health, and instead of breaking us out, he betrays us and starts attacking us? Naruto explained. That's true, Lucy agreed. Then what are you going to do, Fuinjutsu? Gray asked. Yes, Naruto confirmed. I knew it. I was right on both of my theories. Urza thought. Fuinjutsu. Natsu and Lucy echoed curiously. Yes, I'm going to try to seal this into one of my scrolls, Naruto said. He closed his eyes and turned to face his teammates. Naruto opened his eyes and looked at his team. Please, guys, trust me, he pleaded. Urza smiled and nodded. Naruto smiled back and walked toward the barrier. Wait, will it use up a considerable amount of chakra? Happy asked. Well, even if it does, so be it. If it means my friends will be safe, then so be it. I'll just put my faith in my teammates and trust that you guys will be able to stop Aragorn, Naruto said. Lucy smiled. Naruto-kun, you're amazing, she thought. Naruto took a deep breath, reaching into his back ninja pouch to retrieve a sizable scroll, one that would be sufficient to seal the barrier. He opened it and placed it on the ground. Performing a series of hand signs, he held the final one, a tiger sign, standing with his eyes closed and his hand in position, concentrating his chakra to a specific point. This will be tough, but I can handle it, Naruto thought, finally releasing his hand to place it on the wind barrier, marking it with Fuinjutsu symbols. He winced as he felt pain, his hands beginning to bleed from the prolonged contact with the barrier. Urza looked on with concern while the rest of the team watched in awe. So, that's Fuinjutsu, Lucy remarked. Yep, Happy confirmed. Naruto grimaced, enduring the pain as he continued marking the entire barrier. When he finally removed his hand, his arm was injured. Lucy gasped, covering her mouth. Naruto-kun. Your arm, she exclaimed, rushing toward him, but was held back by Happy, Natsu, and Gray. It's best not to disturb him while he's performing his sealing jutsu, Gray advised. Don't worry, Lucy. Whiskers won't let something like that stop him. Natsu encouraged, and Lucy nodded reluctantly. Naruto formed the tiger hand sign again. Hey, are you okay? Don't overdo it. Kurama cautioned. Yeah, Naruto replied mentally. Alright, I think it's ready to be sealed, he thought, breathing heavily. Fuin. Naruto shouted. Everything began to shrink as the wind barrier stopped twisting and started to fade, sealing into the scroll. Come on. Naruto urged, feeling close to completing the seal. Come on, Whiskers. Natsu cheered, boosting his spirits. Finally it was done. The wind barrier was sealed into the scroll. Naruto released the tiger sign, knelt down, and closed the seal, returning it to his pouch. The team rushed to Naruto. Naruto-kun. Lucy and Erza called out. Whiskers, the boys shouted. Are you okay? Your arm doesn't look so good, Gray said. Never mind me, I heal quickly, Naruto replied, slowly standing with Erza supporting him from behind. Now, let's get out of here, Naruto declared. Right. The team responded. But wait, where are Natsu and Happy? Gray asked and the team gasped. It's no use, you'll never catch up to Aragorn. You can't stop us, we've won. Kage sneered triumphantly. Naruto scowled. We'll see about that. I'm going after Natsu, you guys catch up, he said. Wait, are you sure, Naruto-kun? That sealing jutsu took a lot out of you, Erza said, concern etched on her face. It's okay, Erza-chan, I'll be fine, Naruto assured her before disappearing in a flash. Erza sighed. Please, Naruto-kun, don't put yourself in danger. You too, Natsu, she silently pleaded. I see the town up ahead, just a little farther and I'll have my revenge. Aragorn declared arrogantly. Natsu roared in anger. We've got you now. Didn't know this cat could fly at top speed, did ya? Natsu shouted as Happy carried him through the air. Natsu leaped off Happy and delivered a powerful kick to Aragorn, landing firmly on the ground. He caught Happy in his arms, who was exhausted from the high-speed flight. You okay? Natsu asked. Yeah, but I'm really tired, Happy replied weakly. Don't worry, buddy, I think I can handle it from here, Natsu assured him. You again? Aragorn shouted, and Natsu's smile quickly transformed into a scowl as he glared at Aragorn. You're one of those pesky fairy tale members. What are you doing here? Aragorn demanded. Natsu ignited his fists. I'm not letting you pass, you windbag, he shouted. Why are you taking me with you? Kage asked. Because you obviously need a doctor. Since everyone left town, you'll have to see one in Clover unless Naruto-kun is willing to heal you, Lucy explained. Try to show some gratitude, Lucy added. I don't understand, why are you helping me? We're enemies, and that's why the fairy tale ninja won't heal me, Kage replied. Lucy narrowed her brows. Oh wait, I get it. You're taking me hostage to make a deal with Aragorn. Well, you can forget it, he couldn't care less about me or his men, Kage retorted. Lucy deadpanned, lighten up. If you want to die, we can make that happen, Gray said, causing Kage to perk up. Chill, Gray, Lucy interjected. There's a lot more to this world than just life and death. You should try to look for the positives, you and your Eisenwald friends, Gray said. The vehicle tilted, causing the three to tumble with Lucy landing awkwardly against Kage. What happened? Gray shouted. It's okay, everything is fine now, Erza reassured them. I'm so sorry, Lucy apologized. Could your landing be any more awkward? Kage remarked, irritating Lucy. That's harassment. Get him, Gray. He said I landed badly. Lucy exclaimed, while Gray looked over, unimpressed. Geez, so much for a serious moment, Gray said. My vision is getting blurry, I must have used more magic energy than I thought. Natsu, Naruto-kun, you have to stop Aragorn. It's all up to you now, don't let me down. Erza pleaded silently. I'm going to burn you and your stupid flute to ashes. Natsu declared. So you managed to break out of my wind barrier. You little pests can be such a nuisance. Get out of my way, kid, or else, Aragorn threatened, conjuring a magic circle and unleashing a torrent of dust, rubble and flames at Natsu. Is that all you've got? Natsu shouted, evading the attack by leaping into the air and striking at Aragorn with his fiery fists. Impossible. He uses his flames to jump and attack. I underestimated his power, this might be a challenge, Aragorn thought. What are you doing, coward? Come down here and fight me like a man. Natsu demanded. Don't get too cocky, Fly. Aragorn shouted back. Stormbringer. Aragorn yelled, sending a tornado spiraling toward Natsu. This time, he couldn't evade it, and the tornado tossed him around like a rag doll. Natsu cried out in frustration. Natsu! Happy shouted, attempting to summon his wings but failing. It's no use. I don't have enough magic energy. Happy lamented, collapsing on the ground. Natsu fell into the abyss. Hee hee, let's see your firepower get you out of this. Aragorn taunted. Natsu! Happy shouted. Naruto saw just in time, increasing his speed even more as he rushed past Happy and Aragorn, sprinting down the side of the track. Please, let me get there in time. Naruto thought. Happy and Aragorn noticed him. The fairy tale ninja. Aragorn shouted in anger. Naruto finally reached Natsu, leaping away from the tracks and catching him in his arms. As they fell, Naruto quickly reached for his ninja pouch, pulling out a kunai and a string. He swiftly tied the string to the kunai and threw it toward the tracks. Come on. Make it, he thought, narrowing his eyes as they continued to plummet. Whiskers! Happy shouted. Suddenly, Naruto felt a halt. The kunai had struck the tracks. Whiskers! You saved me! Natsu exclaimed in relief. We're not out of the woods yet, Naruto shouted, holding onto Natsu as he dangled from his arm. Using his other arm, Naruto slowly hoisted Natsu up. It took some effort, but he finally got them both back to the side of the tracks. He retrieved the kunai and placed it back in his pouch. All right, Natsu, hold on tight, Naruto said, and Natsu nodded. Naruto began running up the sides of the tracks and eventually made it to the top. Whiskers! Natsu! Happy shouted happily as Aragorn stared in shock. That was a close one. You saved me again, Whiskers. Thanks, Natsu said gratefully. Naruto smirked. No problem, he replied. You must be pretty cold up there half naked. Want me to warm you up? Natsu joked, and Naruto chuckled. Natsu looked over at him and laughed as well. Your flames are powerless against me, Aragorn declared. Oh yeah? We'll see about that. Fire dragon! Roar! Natsu shouted, unleashing flames toward Aragorn. Stone wall! Aragorn shouted, creating a magic barrier that negated Natsu's attack. I can't believe this kid. There's no rhyme or reason to his attacks. Is this what all fairy tale wizards are like? Wait a minute, where did the fairy tale ninja go? Aragorn wondered, noticing that Naruto was no longer beside Natsu. Natsu turned his head and smirked, realizing what Naruto was planning. Nice one, Whiskers. A surprise attack. Natsu chuckled. Naruto appeared behind Aragorn, who noticed too late. As Naruto prepared a powerful punch, he stretched his arm back and threw his fist at Aragorn with incredible speed, knocking him into Natsu, who was ready with a fiery punch of his own, sending Aragorn flying. Naruto landed beside Natsu once again. I'll admit, both of your powers are remarkable. It's an honor to fight the fairy tale ninja, but I'm afraid you're still no match for me. Enough of this cat and mouse chase. It's time to get serious, Aragorn demanded. The two boys smirked at him. We're ready when you are. Natsu said. Storm mail. Aragorn shouted, unleashing a powerful gust of wind at the two teens. Here I come, Aragorn said, surrounding himself with a miniature wind barrier. Natsu charged at him while Naruto stayed behind. Natsu attempted to punch the wind barrier but was pushed back. What's the matter? Can't handle the breeze? Aragorn taunted. Coward! You just had to go and wrap yourself in a wind barrier. Natsu shouted, slamming his fists together. This will tear through it. Fire dragon! Iron fist! Natsu declared, but the wind barrier held firm. Naruto and Natsu widened their eyes. What the? Natsu said in confusion. So it's just like the one from before, Naruto thought, narrowing his eyes. Aragorn chuckled menacingly. I don't understand. Why did my fire go out? Natsu wondered, shocked. From what I learned, wind is weak against fire. In fact, it makes it stronger. So why aren't Natsu's flames working? Naruto pondered. Just as I suspected, you're completely helpless without your flames. Looks like I have the upper hand, Aragorn said. No way! Natsu exclaimed as he was pushed back further by the wind. Is it because it's not enough fire? Naruto wondered again. My storm mail attack goes outwardly, so if you get too close, it will smother your flames, leaving you powerless against me, Aragorn explained. Naruto narrowed his eyes even further. Should I try combining my fire jutsu with Natsu's flame dragon roar? He thought. Oh yeah. Natsu replied. Fire can never defeat wind. Aragorn shouted. Naruto narrowed his eyes and smirked mentally. I disagree, he thought. Natsu. Whiskers. Happy shouted with concern. Now do you understand, little fly? Your fire can never defeat wind. Aragorn taunted. This is intense, it's like standing inside a storm. Natsu exclaimed. Yeah, Naruto agreed. It's time to put an end to your flames for good. Aragorn shouted. Natsu and Naruto gritted their teeth, extending their hands to shield themselves from the powerful winds. Now storm shreds. Aragorn commanded, unleashing a barrage of wind shards toward the two boys. Naruto and Natsu dodged the attacks each time they came at them. Naruto landed back down, while Natsu charged at Aragorn once more. Aragorn chuckled as Natsu struggled against the fierce winds. I have to break through. Natsu shouted, but was pushed back hard, crashing onto the tracks. Natsu, are you alright? Naruto asked. Yeah, but I can't get close enough to even land a punch on this guy. What now? Natsu replied, frustration evident in his voice. Feeling a little frustrated? Don't be too hard on yourself, you never had a chance against me. But don't worry, I'm going to end this now. My soaring phoenix magic rips everything apart. Emera Baram. Aragorn declared. That's a dangerous spell, Natsu. Whiskers, whatever you do, don't let it touch you. Happy warned. But Naruto was undeterred. Naruto held out his hand, forming a blue sphere with his other hand. Natsu noticed and asked, "What are you doing, Whiskers?" "I'm going to cancel his spell." Naruto replied. "What?" Natsu questioned. "Never mind, just focus. Don't get sidetracked." Naruto snapped. "Right." Natsu said, redirecting his attention to Aragorn, who was preparing to attack. "Whiskers. Anytime now." Natsu shouted. Naruto, having finally completed his Rasengan, charged at Aragorn with incredible speed and leaped into the air just as Aragorn unleashed his attack. "Be careful, Whiskers. That's a dangerous spell." Happy cautioned. Naruto heard the warning but pressed on, reaching Aragorn just as the Amarabaram was unleashed. In a split second, Naruto slammed his Rasengan into the incoming attack. "Oh no you don't. Rasengan!" Naruto shouted, colliding with the Amarabaram, causing the two forces to clash and sending Naruto tumbling back to the track. He lay there, groaning in pain. "No way! You actually cancelled the Amarabaram with yours." "But how?" Aragorn asked, astonished. "Nice one, buddy. Are you okay?" Natsu asked, extending a hand to his whiskered friend. Naruto took Natsu's hand and pulled himself up, chuckling. "Because I know that two of the same elemental natures cancel each other out. I realized the Amarabaram was a wind-style spell and my Rasengan was a wind-style jutsu, so I knew they would negate each other." Aragorn grunted in frustration. "Alright, good job, Whiskers." Natsu cheered. "Now, Natsu, I have a plan to finish Aragorn," Naruto said, still panting heavily. Natsu noticed Naruto's exhaustion and grew concerned. "You okay, Naruto? Why don't you let me handle this? You've done enough. First you fought the entire guild, sealed a wind barrier, saved me from falling, and just used a strong attack," Natsu said with worry. Naruto chuckled. "Don't underestimate the Leaf Village's #1 knuckle-headed ninja, Natsu." He smirked, and Natsu returned the expression. Aragorn scoffed. "Whatever you're planning, it won't work," he said smugly. "Now, Natsu, come in a little closer," Naruto instructed. Natsu complied, leaning down beside Naruto's ear. "From what I was taught, wind is no match for fire. In fact, wind makes fire even stronger," Naruto whispered. Natsu nodded in. "Understanding. The reason your flames didn't work on Aragorn might be that they lacked enough power to break through his wind barrier. So, to generate enough firepower, we'll combine our attacks. You use your Fire Dragon Roar, and I'll use my Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu," Naruto suggested. "Oh, that's genius, Whiskers. Let's do it," Natsu exclaimed, and the two boys stood tall, facing their opponent. "Now, Natsu, let's show him that when you mess with fire, you get burned," Naruto declared. "Right," Natsu shouted. Naruto formed the hand signs for Fire Style, Great Fireball Jutsu, while Natsu prepared for his Fire Dragon Roar. "Fire Dragon! Roar!" Natsu shouted. "Fire Style! Great Fireball Jutsu!" Naruto and Natsu called out in unison. Natsu unleashed flames from his mouth, while Naruto released a massive fireball, amplifying Natsu's attack. The two fire attacks merged into one colossal blaze. Aragorn stared in shock. "Oh no! A fire attack that huge could actually break this wind barrier," he thought anxiously. He attempted to evade the path of the fire attack, but it was too late. The fireball struck the wind barrier, creating cracks and ultimately breaking through, reaching Aragorn and causing him to recoil. Natsu, Naruto, and Happy watched in triumph. "All right." Natsu cheered, grabbing Naruto and shaking him joyfully. "You guys actually did it. I'm so proud of you." Happy beamed. "Wow, that was probably the biggest fireball I've ever created," Natsu exclaimed. "And I can't believe I was able to pull off such an advanced jutsu," Naruto added in disbelief. "I guess you guys are just that awesome," Happy said, finally able to fly. "I guess we are," Natsu replied, hands behind his head, grinning. Meanwhile, the lullaby flute glowed and dimmed. "Natsu! Naruto-kun!" Lucy shouted. "Hey, you guys just missed me and Whiskers roasting Aragorn," Natsu said, and Naruto chuckled. "I." Happy chirped. "I'm proud of you guys," Urza said, being helped down by Lucy. "Are you going to be okay, Urza?" Lucy asked. "Yes, don't worry about me," Urza smiled, while Kage gawked in disbelief. "No way. Aragorn never loses," Kage thought, noticing the lullaby flute lying on the track. "I can't believe Whiskers had to help you. You probably had a hard time." Gray teased. Naruto smiled and sighed. "I never said that. We took care of him, didn't we?" Natsu defended. Naruto chuckled. "I was worried for a while," Happy admitted. "Whatever, you look pretty silly wearing a scarf half naked," Gray insulted. Natsu grew irritated. "Like you have room to talk." Hey Lucy, give me your clothes. Natsu demanded. In your dreams. Why don't you ask Naruto? Lucy shouted in embarrassment, causing Naruto to burst into laughter while Erza chuckled. Hey Whiskers, give me your clothes. Natsu turned to Naruto. Oh no, Naruto-kun shirtless. I bet he's got awesome abs. Lucy squealed in her mind. I'll pass, Naruto replied, and Natsu slumped in disappointment. Whatever, Natsu mumbled, while Naruto and the others chuckled at him. Anyway, well done Natsu and Naruto. Thank you both. The guild masters will be safe now, Erza complimented. Lucy nodded and smiled. The boys nodded back. While we're here, I think we should stop by the guild masters conference to inform them about what happened and ask how we should properly dispose of the lullaby flute, Erza suggested. That's a great idea, Erza. Naruto said happily. Might as well since we're so close to Clover, Happy added. Suddenly, the lullaby flute glowed again, and Kage smirked, driving the magic mobile away. Kage! Erza shouted. What do you think you're doing? Gray yelled. The lullaby flute is mine. You shouldn't have let your guard down. Kage shouted, laughing as he sped off toward Clover. Naruto's cheerful demeanor quickly shifted to anger. Lucy, Happy, Gray, and Natsu stared in shock, while Erza looked equally stunned. That JRK! Natsu shouted. What a scumbag! Naruto added. This is how he repays us for saving his life? Lucy said in disbelief. After him. Erza ordered. We have received reports that Eisenwald is plotting to harm the guild masters at the conference in Clover. I won't let that happen on my watch. We have to stop them. Let's show those wizards the might of the Fiori army, the captain of the army commanded. Yes, sir, all the soldiers replied. Yeah, this will work. Surely they'll be able to hear the lullaby song from here. Finally, the time has come. Kage thought triumphantly. Suddenly, random kissing noises startled Kage. An old man exclaimed, Wow, the young wizarding ladies are so much more powerful now than they were back in my day. But I don't have time for this. I need to catch up to those fools before they destroy an entire town. Makarov said. He turned around, and his jaw dropped. It's not what it looks like. I was just doing some research on female wizards. It was innocent. Makarov insisted, continuing to babble. I don't care what you're doing, Kage replied flatly. Makarov stopped his chatter and noticed Kage was heavily wrapped in bandages. You've been badly hurt, my boy. You shouldn't be wandering around the woods in your condition, Makarov said. Yes, sir, you're right, Kage replied. Makarov sighed in relief as he turned to leave. Hold on, that's Makarov, the master of the Fairy Tale Guild. Why do I keep running into these people? Kage wondered, realizing he was speaking to the guild master of the members he just fought. Makarov began to walk away until Kage spoke up. Excuse me, Kage said. Makarov turned to look at him. I don't suppose you'd care to hear a song? They wouldn't let me play my flute while I was in the hospital. It would mean a lot to play for someone again, Kage said. That's one creepy little flute you've got there, Makarov remarked. I know, but it has a beautiful sound, Kage replied. Well, I should be going, but I guess one song couldn't hurt, Makarov said. Oh, thank you, Kage said, feeling triumphant. Be sure to listen carefully, okay, sir? Kage noted. Yeah, Makarov replied nonchalantly. Kage then brought the flute closer to his mouth, preparing to play. This is it, Kage thought. Who'd want to join a legal guild anyway? They asike. Rayul's words echoed in his mind. Those fairy tale guys are too weak to be talking big talk, Bayard's voice chimed in. The lullaby song will be our revenge against those who stripped us of our rights and forced us to live in the darkness, Aragorn's voice sang. Killing innocent people isn't going to help you get your rights back. Lucy's words rang in his ears. Kage paused, unable to choose. You should look for the positive, you and your buddies, Gray's voice echoed. Kage, we really need your help right now. Urza's voice shouted in his head. He's a member of your guild, he trusted you, and you tried to harm him. Natsu's voice said. If it's for my friends, then so be it. I'll just put my faith in my teammates and believe that they'll take care of Eisenwald. Naruto's voice also rang through his mind. Kage remembered all of those words, possibly having second thoughts. There he is. Gray shouted. Gramps. Natsu called. Master. Erza yelled. Gigi. Naruto exclaimed. Shoo, Bob shushed, appearing out of nowhere and startling Natsu, Lucy, and Gray. Hold on, isn't that the master of the Blue Pegasus Guild? That man always freaks me out, Naruto thought. It was just about to get to the good part. My, aren't you boys adorable? Bob charmed, as Natsu and Gray clung to each other in fear, attempting to hide behind Naruto. Naruto simply stood there, trying not to cringe. Who the heck is that guy? Lucy shouted. Master Bob, Erza called out, catching Bob's attention as he looked over to the girls while the boys scrambled, including Naruto. Oh Urza, you have really filled out, Bob said, causing Lucy to hide behind Urza. You're telling me that weirdo is the master of the Blue Pegasus Guild? Even Naruto-kun is scared of him, Lucy said nervously. Well, I can't wait all night, young man, Makarov said as Kage finally brought the flute closer, preparing to play. Oh no! Urza shouted and the team noticed. Oh no! GG! Naruto cursed as Bob held the boys under his arm, and they struggled. Can you guys keep it down? We're just about to get to the good part, Goldmine said, appearing out of nowhere like Bob. He's with Quattro Cerberus. Lucy realized. That's their master, Goldmine, Urza explained, while Bob continued to restrain the boys. Makarov grew increasingly impatient. Well, he said, a bit more irately, but Kage struggled to play, as it seemed he was having second thoughts. I can do this. I just have to play one song. And that will change everything, Kage thought. Makarov looked at Kage and sighed. Nothing is going to change, Makarov said, causing Kage's eyes to widen. You cannot change the fact that those who are weak will forever remain weak. Now, maybe it's just me, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, we humans are weak creatures by nature. Our insecurities are the reason the guilds even exist, and they're why we have friends. When we're surrounded by allies, it's easier to stay positive about the future. Think of it this way. If we stumble and bump into things, as long as we have faith in our future, we continue marching forward, and our inner strength emerges on its own. We must choose that path and pledge to live our lives to the fullest. Don't let that silly flute get in the way. Makarov delivered one of the most touching speeches. So touching, it caused Kage to drop the flute. While the team smiled with joy, Naruto was nearly brought to tears. Those words certainly brought back memories of the ninja world. Kage dropped to his knees. I surrender, he said. Master! Urza shouted in relief. Way to go, GG. Naruto added as they rushed over to their guild master. You stopped him. Natsu yelled happily. Way to go, Gramps. Gray added. What? How did you kids end up in Clover? Makarov asked in surprise. Master Makarov. Urza said, cuddling the little old man a bit too tightly. Your words touched me so deeply that I was almost moved to tears. Urza exclaimed. Naruto smiled. Well, it looks like we got here just in time to see Gramps talk his way out of another one, Gray said. Totally. Naruto agreed. I just wish I could have talked my way out with Sasuke, Naruto thought sadly. Naruto-chan, if you're still thinking about how you could have stopped your friend Sasuke from taking the dark path, then don't. It's just like I said, you can't choose someone's path, Makarov said. Naruto nodded and smiled. I know that, he assured. But the happy reunion was short-lived when the lullaby flute began to laugh ominously. I've grown tired of you cowardly wizards, it said angrily. Shocking the entire team, something came out. Happy said alertly. A giant purple magic circle formed in the sky. What is that? The Fiori army wondered in fear. I can no longer hold back. I shall come forth to devour your souls. Lullaby shouted menacingly as a being emerged from the magic circle. It retained its 3 eerie purple eyes and looked like a giant twisted stick, staring hungrily at the team. I shall feast upon your pitiful souls. Lullaby roared. It's huge. Lucy stated fearfully. Way to state the obvious. Happy replied. What is that thing? Aragorn never said anything about a monster. Kage shouted. We're in a pickle, Bob said. It must be a demon from the Book of Zeruf, Goldmine assumed. All of the townspeople scrambled for their lives. Why did the flute turn into a monster? Lucy asked, clutching onto Naruto's arm in terror. Zeruf? I've read about that guy before. Isn't he a powerful dark wizard? Naruto narrowed his eyes. That's what Lullaby's true form looks like. It's forbidden black magic, living magic, Zeruf's specialty, Goldmine explained. Living magic? Urza said curiously. Who's Zeruf? Isn't he some ancient wizard? Gray asked. He's the most evil wizard the world has ever known. He was very powerful in his day, but in my wildest dreams, I never thought his dark legacy would resurface, Bob said. Now then, which of these delectable souls shall I dine on first? Ooh, how about the blondie with the whiskers? He looks tasty. Lullaby said. Naruto chuckled. Delectable, huh? Do you think souls are really that tasty? Natsu asked, and Naruto deadpanned. This guy is just over the top. How should I know what they taste like? Gray snapped. Always thinking about eating. Lucy deadpanned as well. Natsu and Gray, get everyone to a safe place, Urza ordered. Quit barking orders. Natsu complained. Yeah, you're not the boss of us, Gray added. Just do it. Urza insisted again. Aye aye. Natsu and Gray skedaddled, and Naruto sighed. Another bad happy impression? Lucy deadpanned again. No giant demon is gonna scare off the Fiori army. Charge, the captain commanded. Yes, sir, his men replied. Lullaby looked over at the army. You doubt my power? I'll prove it to you. Lullaby shouted angrily, opening its mouth and unleashing a beam across the land, causing a massive explosion. Captain? Are we scared yet? One soldier asked frantically. Now men retreat, the captain commanded. I have no need for pathetic humans, I prefer the taste of a wizard's soul, and I will consume all of yours. Lullaby declared. Oh yeah, I'd like to see you try. Bring it on, big guy. Natsu shouted. Can those four defeat Lullaby on their own? Lucy asked worriedly. You should help them. Happy suggested. Normally I would, but none of my celestial wizards are available right now, so I'd probably just slow them down, Lucy admitted. Good excuse, Happy teased. Don't judge me, cat. Lucy shouted irritably. Lullaby roared loudly, shaking everyone to their core. It's hurting my ears. Lucy shouted, covering her ears to block out the unpleasant sound. It's preparing an attack, Goldmine said calmly, seemingly unaffected by the noise. Ready? Urza asked, drawing her swords. Oh yeah, the boys replied, and all four of them charged at Lullaby simultaneously. Naruto smirked. This is gonna be good, he said. You ready to kick butt, Whiskers? Natsu smirked. You bet. I've been waiting to kick some butt. Naruto smirked back. All four of them leaped at the demon. Requip. Knight. Urza shouted, transforming into her Heaven Wheels armor. She took her swords and sliced at the demon, causing it to scream in frustration. Ice make lance. Gray shouted, sending icy lances piercing into Lullaby's body, which screamed in pain once again. My turn. Fire Dragon. Iron Fist. Natsu shouted, leaping up and delivering a powerful punch to its face. Your turn, Whiskers. Natsu called out. Naruto smirked, leaping into the air and gathering chakra in his fists for a powerful punch. His fist glowed blue, signifying that the chakra was ready. Naruto threw a full-force chakra punch at Lullaby's face, sending it flying. That guy. He sent him flying with just one punch. An odd villager exclaimed as the team continued to strike down the demon. Lullaby swung its fists at the four warriors, who evaded perfectly, with Urza slicing it again and Gray shooting another ice lance at the demon. I'm not finished with you. Fire Dragon. Wing attack. Natsu shouted, swinging his fiery arms at Lullaby. Naruto appeared from the back, delivering a roundhouse kick to the back of Lullaby's head. Meanwhile, Kage, Lucy, and Happy watched in awe. That's incredible. Their combination attacks are so powerful. And the fairy tale ninja is amazing. Such strength. Kage marveled. And they're in sync. Lucy added. Happy chirped. Lullaby grew angrier with each combo attack from the four teens. It prepared for another devastating roar, forming a giant purple magic circle in the sky once again. This can't be good. Lucy said nervously. Get ready for the song. Happy warned as the demon began to roar loudly. All the plants are dying. Lucy shouted in terror. Lullaby is draining the life out of them. Happy exclaimed, watching the plants wither one by one. Just one note and your souls will be mine. Lullaby declared. The roar was deafening to anyone nearby, and Lucy, Happy, and Kage covered their ears in a desperate attempt to shield themselves from the sound. Suddenly, the horrible sound stopped. What happened? Lucy shouted nervously. Nothing happened. Happy replied, both of them staring in disbelief. I don't understand, why didn't I play the melody of death? Lullaby wondered in shock. It must be because of all those attacks. Kage assumed. They punched so many holes in that thing it messed up its sound. Lucy remarked dryly. All that build-up for this? Talk about going out with a whimper. Yeah, it was pretty lame to begin with, Happy added. You dare mock me? Lullaby shouted angrily, kicking furiously. All the villagers fled for their lives as Lullaby continued to lash out. Lullaby turned to the remaining people and prepared to unleash a fiery attack. Gray immediately stepped in front, preparing for another ice spell. Ice make shield, he shouted, creating a giant icy barrier that completely countered Lullaby's attack. Oh wow, an amazed villager said. That boy's magic is so powerful, another added. What's Maker magic? Lucy asked. It's a type of magic that allows the user to manipulate energy into various forms, but there's another kind of magic that can destroy, Happy explained, leaving Lucy shocked. I will defeat you all. Lullaby shouted, noticing Natsu absorbing all the fire around him. Seizing the opportunity, Naruto leaped to its side and began striking with improved martial arts techniques he learned from Rock Lee and Might Guy. Naruto landed one more punch on the side of Lullaby's face before delivering a powerful spinning kick, sending Lullaby flying once again. He landed beside Natsu, who had finished his fiery feast. Now I've got a fire in my belly, Natsu smirked. You're not human, you're a monster. Lullaby shouted, throwing an angry punch at the two boys. Natsu and Naruto easily dodged the punch. Oh, shut up! Naruto shouted, performing hand signs as Natsu ran up Lullaby's enormous arm. Oh, like you can talk. Natsu retorted. Don't climb at me. Lullaby demanded, just as Urza flew in wearing her armor. Requip! Urza shouted, transforming into her Blackwing armor. The onlookers were captivated. Her armor is stunning, a villager said. It's called Blackwing armor, and it amplifies her attack power, another explained. Ice makes saucer. Gray chanted, sending an icy disc at Lullaby, which sliced through its body as it howled in pain. Urza then swooped in, striking with precision. Natsu! Naruto! She shouted. Now! Gray added. We've got this. The flames of my right hand, and the flames of my left. Combine them, and this is what you get. Whiskers, I'm ready for that fireball jutsu. Natsu shouted, his fiery hands clashing to form a massive fireball. Naruto inhaled deeply, his lungs filling up, preparing for the ultimate fireball jutsu. Fire style. Great fireball jutsu, he shouted, releasing a giant fireball that combined with Natsu's to create an even greater inferno. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Whiskers. Natsu cheered. Fire dragon. Brilliant flames, he shouted, launching the massive fireball at Lullaby, engulfing it in flames. Well done, Makarov complimented. You're amazing. Bob admired. You kids make defeating Zeref's demon look easy. Goldmine added. Lucy cheered with joy. I can't believe how strong they are. But are all the fairy tale wizards as powerful as these four? Kage wondered in amazement. As the four warriors stood triumphantly. There's no doubt. This is the strongest team. Lucy declared. Aye. Happy chirped in agreement. We're an awesome guild, aren't we? Makarov bragged. Great work out there, guys. Lucy said happily. Thanks, but it wasn't a big deal. Natsu replied. Naruto chuckled. Yeah, piece of cake. Gray added. You know, I was kind of hoping it would be more of a challenge, Naruto said with a hint of disappointment. Urza chuckled. They may be a bunch of fools, but they're stronger than I am, especially the fairy tale ninja. It was a treat to watch the famous fairy tale ninja fight. Kage smiled. You need to see a doctor, Bob said, picking up the frightened Kage. I can feel your stubble. Kage trembled. Can't exactly say what just happened, but it's obvious we owe a big round of thanks to the Fairy Tale Guild, Goldmine said. We do, a villager asked nervously. Even so, I must say, another added. Urza gasped as she looked at Clover. Naruto turned around and fell over. They went overboard, the whole town exclaimed. Makarov trembled in shock. The whole town has been destroyed. Lucy said nervously, holding onto Naruto's arm. Naruto sighed. There are also a couple of mountaintops missing. Happy noted, causing Makarov to look as if he might faint. Master! Lucy shouted. Something came out. Happy chirped. I didn't know that, Happy, Naruto replied dryly. Natsu giggled. We really made a mess of the place, huh? He said. The villagers shouted in frustration. Urza chased after Makarov's spirit. Please forgive us, Master, she pleaded. Naruto sighed and smiled, thinking, well, at least we got the job done. I guess kids do take after their parents, Goldmine chuckled. It reminds me of us when we were young wizards, Bob reminisced. Back in ancient times? Kage smiled. You know, when I was younger, I looked just like you, Bob noted. Kage gawked. We had so much fun back in the old days. We were mischievous kids, so the council was always angry with us for one reason or another. You see that stud in that suit? That's me. Bob said. You've got to be kidding. Kage exclaimed in shock. I wasn't lying when I said I looked just like you. Bob giggled. I'm not bald or fat. Kage defended. So what do you think? Now that you've seen what it's like to be part of a magical guild, Goldmine asked Kage. It's much more fun than a dark guild, Bob said, as Kage's spirit began to slowly leave his body. Something came out of him, Goldmine said. Naruto spotted the lullaby flute and approached it, narrowing his eyes. I should probably seal this too, he thought. Urza, noticing his intent, asked, You're thinking of sealing this into one of your scrolls, right? As Naruto crouched down, he replied, Yeah, it's best to do so. We'll give the scroll to the Magic Council for safekeeping. It's better if I seal it because no wizard alive can perform Fuinjutsu. That's a good idea, Naruchan, Makarov added. Naruto nodded, took out a scroll, opened it, and placed it on the ground. Meanwhile, the villagers and Natsu were engaged in a heated verbal exchange. Lucy and Gray noticed and approached Naruto. Are you planning to seal that too, Whiskers? Gray asked. Naruto nodded, finishing the markings on the flute. He performed a few hand signs, preparing to seal the lullaby flute away for good. Fuin, he chanted, and with that, the flute vanished in a puff of smoke. When the smoke cleared, the flute was gone, sealed away securely. Alright, it's sealed for good. No one will be able to break the seal. I'm the only one capable of doing so because no wizard alive can perform Fuinjutsu, Naruto assured as he closed the scroll. Good idea, Naruto-kun, Lucy and Urza said in unison. Naruto tossed the scroll back into his ninja pouch. Now for Clover we run for it, he exclaimed with a smirk and took off running. The team erupted in laughter and chased after Naruto, quickly catching up to him. Good idea, Whiskers. I never knew you could come up with such a plan. Natsu chuckled. Hey, remember what I said? Never underestimate the Leaf Village's #1 hyperactive, knuckle-headed ninja. Naruto grinned. The whole team laughed as they sprinted away together. The Eisenwald Guild may have been defeated, but that is only one small victory in a much larger battle, a deep voice bellowed. The number of dark guilds has been growing at quite an alarming rate, a higher-pitched voice warned. We have to create a plan to eliminate them all, a chairman said. But how would we do that? Yajima asked. However it's done, we cannot allow Zeref's magic to fall into the wrong hands again. We were fortunate that the fairy tale ninja was kind enough to seal it away for us, the head chairman said, holding the scroll with the sealed lullaby in an enclosed glass case. I don't understand how Eisenwald was able to obtain a tool of forbidden magic in the first place, Yajima said. I hate to say it, but the blame may extend all the way to the highest levels, a chairman resembling a cat remarked. Whatever the case, although they're usually just a thorn in our side, it seems fairy tale proved to be quite useful, Seagrain said. They took down an entire guild with just a handful of wizards. That is quite a feat, Altair added. You may not want to accept it, but that's the reality of the situation. In the end, the attack on the guild masters was prevented, lives were spared, and none of us had to give up our hard-earned positions on the council to save face, Seagrain continued. You fool, are you insinuating that the council is somehow to blame? A chairman with shades asked angrily. Enough of this nonsense. Fairy tale's good deeds are overshadowed by their reckless destruction, the head chairman declared. Seagrain smirked. Then why don't we take the opportunity to discuss the matter with them, he suggested. Eisenwald's failed attempt to attack the guild masters with the lullaby became big news. It made all the papers. Everyone seemed to be talking about it. Before joining Fairy Tail, I never would have imagined being part of such a significant event. It feels incredible. But I won't let it go to my head. My heart still races when I think about everything we went through. I heard the authorities caught most of the Eisenwald members involved, including Kageyama, which is reassuring. The scary part is, they still haven't tracked down Aragorn. I'm worried he might show up at Fairy Tail looking for revenge. But I'll be okay because I'm with the guild's strongest. Urza, Gray, Natsu, and Naruto have my back no matter what, not to mention Happy. Fairy Tail is amazing and my fellow members are truly great people, so don't worry, Mom, I'm doing fine. P.S. Please don't tell Dad about any of this, okay? Lucy sighed after finishing her letter. Maybe I'll do a little shopping later today. Saving the world from evil is cool and all, but sometimes it's nice to just relax at home. Lucy thought happily. Man, 70,000 jewels a month is incredibly cheap for a place like this. You totally scored, Lucy. Gray said, sitting on her couch in just his boxers, startling Lucy. Intruder alert. Lucy shouted, kicking Gray angrily in the chest. No stripping in my house, buddy, she yelled. Hey, give me a minute to explain, would you? I was naked when I got here, Gray said, turning around. Get out, Lucy demanded. So you forgot about today, huh? I figured you wouldn't remember, so I came by to remind you, Gray said. About what? Lucy asked more calmly this time. Well, let me try and jog your memory, Gray said, turning back to look at Lucy. Remember when Natsu challenged Urza and Whiskers at the train station? He asked. Fight. Fight. The villagers cheered. They're about to have their rematch, Gray said. Lucy gasped as she made her way into the crowd surrounding the combatants, where Natsu, Naruto, and Urza stood, ready to fight. No way! They're really going through with it? Lucy shouted in shock. Mira and Lise Anna looked at her and smiled. Oh hey Lucy, the sisters greeted. Well, if those three value their pride, then they better go through with it. Elfman declared. Urza's not a man, Mira pointed out. But you've got to admit she's pretty tough, Mikao smiled. Aren't you worried this fight could tear our strongest team apart? Lucy asked, concerned. What are you talking about, our strongest team? Gray asked in confusion, looking at the battlefield just outside the guild hall. Ooh, Natsu, Urza, and Naruto, you dummy. You're the 4 strongest wizards in the guild. Not including Naruto since he is a ninja, Lucy explained. We are? Yeah right, what idiot fed you that line? Gray denied, while Mira smiled before sulking in a corner. Lise Anna patted Mira's back and shot Gray a glare. There, she soothed. Oh, you're not an idiot, Mira. Gray said apologetically. Smooth move, Gray, Lucy said sarcastically. I'll hand it to Natsu and Gray, They're tough little guys, but neither of them is close to being the strongest. There are guys in Fairy Tail who are stronger than both of them combined, like this guy, Elfman smirked. But calling her the strongest woman is a pretty safe bet, Levi said. As for the guys, it's a tough call, but I'd put my money on Laxus, Mystigan, and even Naruto because he is much more powerful than Urza, seeing how he defeated her in a sparring match with a single light kick, Jet said. That's true, Naruto did do that, and everyone was surprised, Lisa added. Mira comically wiped away some tears. All I meant was that the four work well together and have the best team chemistry in all of Fairy Tail, Mira whimpered. Okay, this is coming from the same person who sent me on a mission to keep Natsu and Gray from fighting when Urza or Naruto isn't around? Lucy said. Yeah, Mira, you were even worried, Lisa added. I've got to say, I'm pretty excited to see how this fight turns out, Elfman said eagerly. Oh yeah? I'm sure Whiskers and Urza will end up dominating him, Gray said. It's been a while since we squared off like this, hasn't it, Natsu, Naruto? Urza said, and Naruto nodded in agreement, smiling. I was just a little kid back then. Today is going to be different because I'm taking both of you down, Urza, Natsu said confidently. Well, we're not going to go easy on you. In fact, I have the perfect armor for this occasion, and Naruto also possesses fire abilities, so this will be a pretty fair fight, Urza said, beginning to requip. Urza requipped into her Flame Empress armor. That's Flame Empress armor, a smart choice against fire magic, Mikao said. So now Natsu's flames will only be half as effective, Lucky remarked. Come on, Urza, at least give the kid a fighting chance. Wakaba added. Put me down for Urza and Whiskers for the first round. Happy said to Kana, who was ready to take bets on the match. You're betting against your own best friend? Lucy exclaimed in disbelief. Why are you all picking sides? I don't want either of them to lose, she complained. Get into the spirit, Lucy, Gray said. Yeah, no one cares who you bet on. Lisa smiled. Wow, Flame Empress armor and fire chakra nature? Good news for me, that means I can turn up the heat as high as I want. Natsu said excitedly. Round 1 start. Makarov announced. Natsu immediately charged at his opponents, who dodged his attack. Naruto pulled out a kunai, ready to fight, when Urza swung her fire sword at Natsu, who easily evaded it. The three exchanged attacks, dodging each other in a flurry of movement. Natsu shot fire from his mouth, aiming at Naruto and Urza. Naruto quickly formed hand signs and shot water from his mouth to extinguish Natsu's flames. Water style. Water wave jutsu, he shouted while Urza evaded the fire. Natsu continued to unleash fire as the audience cheered, needing to back away occasionally as Naruto and Urza kept dodging his flames. Whoa, Lucy said in awe. See? It's a good fight, huh? Elfman said. This fight is boring, Gray said, disappointed. Just as the three were about to charge at each other, a loud clap interrupted them, causing them to halt mid-clash. They turned to see what was happening. This fight is over. May I have your attention, please? I come on behalf of the Magic Council, a messenger frog announced. Magic Council? Naruto narrowed his eyes. No way. Levi gasped. Seriously? Jet added, why would the council send her here? Droy wondered, am I the only one who noticed? She is a frog. Lucy shouted. As a result of the Eisenwald incident, 2 members of your guild have been charged with 11 counts of property damage, Urza Scarlet and Naruto Uzumaki. You two are under arrest, she declared, shocking everyone, including Naruto and Urza. What? You're putting them under arrest? Natsu said in confusion. Everyone in the guild sat in disappointment. This isn't fair. Let me out of here already. Natsu shouted from inside a glass container. Natsu, try to calm down. Mira said. Let me out. Pretty please. Natsu begged, transformed into a miniature lizard and kept in a small cup. You'll go on a rampage. Mira insisted. I'll be good, I swear. Just turn me back. Natsu demanded. Mira leaned down to look at him, while Lisa stood behind her, looking sad. Yeah, but Natsu-kun, the second we turn you back, you'll run off to save Urza-san and Naruto-niken. Lisa said. Mira nodded in agreement. Give me a break. I couldn't care less what happens to her. Natsu protested. Even if you wanted to help them, it's not like we can face off with the council, Gray said. But can't they see that Urza and Whiskers did what they had to do to save the guild masters from the bad guys and their evil plans? Natsu snapped. If the Magic Council says you're guilty, then you're guilty, end of story. They don't care what we have to say, Gray replied. I just don't get it. We've destroyed plenty of things in the past, and they didn't make a big deal about it, Elfman said. I know, it doesn't make any sense, Lucky agreed. It's like there's some other reason for this, Lucy said, resting her head on the table. Natsu clenched his fists in frustration. Urza and Naruto walked down the halls of the Fiori branch of the Magic Council, escorted by a toad. They stopped when they saw Seagrain leaning against a pillar, arms crossed. Seagrain looked up at Naruto and Urza, smirking. Naruto narrowed his eyes in suspicion, while Urza's eyes widened in shock. "Seagrain," she exclaimed. The toad bowed. "It's been quite a while, Urza." "Oh, and it's a pleasure to meet the famous fairy tale ninja," Seagrain greeted. Naruto scoffed, feeling uneasy about Seagrain's presence. Urza tensed up. "Please relax, I'm only here in spirit, sending this projection from Era. In fact, all the faces in that courtroom are projections as well. We didn't think it was necessary to be here for such a trivial matter," Seagrain explained. Naruto's eyes widened in confusion. "A trivial matter?" he echoed, while Urza narrowed her eyes. "I see, so you're the one behind this farce? You make me sick," Urza said with disgust. Naruto glanced at her, then back at Seagrain, who walked past them. "Let's be civil here. I've always been a staunch defender of Fairy Tail, but the elders are worried about who will take the blame for Clover's destruction, and the only way to avoid that is to place the blame on someone else entirely. You two are their scapegoat," Seagrain explained. Naruto gritted his teeth in anger. "Enough," Urza demanded, turning to face him. "All right, buddy, I think you've said enough," Naruto warned, giving Seagrain an unhappy scowl. "Just a friendly warning. In fact, it's a matter I wish to discuss with you," Seagrain said, placing a hand on Urza's chin and another on Naruto's shoulder, leaning in closer to Urza's ear. "Don't let a word slip about for you, me, and your ninja friend," he warned. Naruto shook off Seagrain's hand, backing away. "I must join my colleagues on the council. I'll see you two shortly on the other side," he said before fading away. "Wow, you know some very important people," the toad croaked. "Urza-chan, who was that?" Naruto asked. "Don't get yourself involved with him, Naruto-kun. He's trouble," Urza warned. Naruto sighed. "I worked very hard to get here, Urza. Don't stand in my way," Seagrain muttered to himself. "This courtroom will now come to order," a toad announced as Naruto and Urza stood on the trial stand. "Before us are defendants Urza Scarlet and Naruto Uzumaki. Please take the stand, Miss Scarlet and Mr. Uzumaki," the toad said. "This is wrong. We should be there to testify." Lucy shouted angrily, standing up. "But Lucy," Nab sighed. "We are not going to court," Makarov stated. Lucy rushed over to Makarov. "Why not, Master? We all know Naruto and Urza are innocent. We can't just sit here and let them lock those two away." Lucy protested. "Even if we left at this very second, there's no way we would make it there in time," Makarov pointed out. "But," Lucy began, only to pause. "Let me out. It's hard to breathe in here. Just let me out," Natsu demanded. "Are you sure you want out?" Makarov asked. Natsu fell silent, scratching his chin. Lucy, Gray, and Elfman exchanged curious glances. "What's the matter? It seems you've lost your fire," Makarov observed, remaining quiet for a moment before freeing Natsu. Instead of Natsu, it was only Mikao who emerged. "It's Mikao!" Levi shouted. Everyone gawked in shock. "That was you!" Elfman, Lucy, and Lucky exclaimed in disbelief. Mikao stood up and smiled sheepishly. "Yeah, sorry guys, but I owed Natsu and Naruto a favor. I transformed into a salamander so everyone would think I was him," Mikao explained. Flashback. "Look everyone. My dad caught Natsu trying to sneak away," Romeo said, holding a transformed Mikao in his hand while Natsu hid behind a bush. "Here's your chance. I've got you covered, now run," Romeo thought. Flashbackins. "Do you know where he went?" Lucy asked. Mikao stuttered, as Gray approached with an irritated expression. "He went after Urza and Whiskers, didn't he?" Gray guessed. Mikao sighed and nodded. "Yeah, afraid so." "You've got to be kidding me. That idiot will probably try to take on the whole council." Elfman shouted. "Can everyone just calm down? We have no choice but to wait and see what happens," Makarov resolved. "Urza Scarlet and Naruto Uzumaki, you stand before the council to answer to the charges stemming from the incident involving the Dark Guild Eisenwald. These charges include damage to Ashibana Station, the destruction of the train rails, and the complete destruction of the Clover Meeting Hall. There are 11 property damage charges against you. According to eyewitness reports, the perpetrators are described as a heavily armored female wizard and a blonde man with whiskers wearing a long red coat, carrying a scroll and wearing a headband, the judge announced. Suddenly, a loud explosion erupted behind Naruto and Urza, startling both teens and causing their eyes to widen. "I'm the great armored lady and ninja you old-timers have been looking for. If you have a problem with the way my guild does things, then fight me," Natsu shouted, wearing a long red wig, a headband with a distorted symbol, and a bucket as armor. Naruto deadpanned while Urza stared blankly. "I am the all-powerful Urza and ninja." Natsu continued, shooting fire from his mouth as the council members looked horrified, all while Seagrain watched in amusement. Do you think the stuff I destroyed is more important than a guild master's life? Well, Natsu said before stopping his ridiculous antics. The judge sighed while Naruto and Urza face-bombed. Take them away, the judge ordered. Naruto bowed. Our deepest apologies, he said. I am truly sorry for this, Your Honor. Urza added. What are you doing, Whiskers? Urza, don't apologize to these council jers. Oops, I am Urza. Natsu shouted. Naruto looked at Natsu with a blank stare. Oh boy, was all he could muster. Words can't express how angry I am with you. That trial was just a formality. Urza exclaimed. Seriously? Natsu shouted in disbelief. Naruto deadpanned. Yes, it's a glorified spectacle. He sighed. The council is using me and Naruto to remind everyone that if you break the law, you'll be punished. It helps them maintain order in the magical world. Urza continued, and Naruto nodded. Wait a minute. So this is all for show? Natsu asked. Naruto nodded, and Natsu sighed. They would have just found us guilty and sent us home with just a slap on the wrist. But thanks to you, Naruto and I are stuck in a jail cell. Urza shouted angrily, while Natsu trembled in fear. I can't believe you, Naruto and Urza said in unison. I'm sorry, Natsu apologized. Naruto placed a hand on Natsu's shoulder and smiled reassuringly. It's okay, he assured, and Natsu smiled back. You meant well, Urza added, pulling Natsu into her traditional hard hug and inadvertently pulling Naruto in as well. Both boys groaned in pain. That hurt, Urza. Naruto exclaimed. Yeah. Natsu agreed. I see a fairy tale wizard came to their aid, Natsu dragged Neil, Seagrain mumbled quietly. Who would have thought fresh air could smell so sweet? I'm going to breathe it in all day. The sweet smell of freedom. Natsu shouted happily, not realizing he was also spitting out fire while Naruto chuckled. Shut up, Jet said irritably. Put a sock in it, man. Droy added. Isn't he precious when he gets all excited? Mira smiled. I can't believe that stupid arrest for trial was just for show. All that worrying for nothing. Lucy said, disappointed. Naruto walked over to her, patting her on the back. Lighten up, Hyun. Naruto chuckled, startling her as she stood up straight, slightly blushing. So they weren't a sacrificial lamb, but a scapegoat. Gray realized. You must be one heck of an ice wizard because even your jokes leave me cold. Elfman trembled. Tisich, Naruto scoffed. Hey Naruto, be careful around that Seagrain guy. We don't sense good things from him, Matatabi warned. I know, thanks, he replied. Just looking out for you, kid, Kurama said. Naruto gave his fox friend an assuring thumbs up before returning to reality. Hey Natsu, are you going to finish your man-to-man with Urza and Naruto? Elfman asked, stopping Natsu in his tracks. Naruto sighed. Oh, Lucy mumbled. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So what do you say? Want to pick up where we left off? Natsu asked Naruto and Urza. I'll pass, Naruto said. Oh, cheapskate. Natsu said, disappointed. I'll pass too. I'm not in the mood right now, and I don't think Naruto is either, Urza added. But Natsu lit up both of his fists in fire and charged at Urza. I'm not letting you off the hook that easy. Natsu shouted playfully. Naruto sighed. I swear, Urza mumbled irritably, standing up and giving Natsu a firm punch in the stomach. Natsu fell to the ground. Lucy, Gray, and Elfman all gawked while Naruto face-bombed. How's that? Are you satisfied? I don't think you'll want to challenge Naruto after that either, Urza said. And he's out. Happy chirped. Naruto, Gray, Lucy, and Elfman burst into laughter. Way to go, champ. Gray teased. I warned you, Pinky, Naruto chuckled. Guess we know who the real man is. Elfman added. Makarov grunted. Sir, is something wrong? Mir asked. I'm fine, just sleepy, he replied. He's coming, Makarov said. Mira began to feel drowsy, her eyelids growing heavy as she drifted off to sleep. Naruto noticed and immediately sensed what was happening. Could it be Mistigan? He wondered as the others began to succumb to fatigue. Not again. Gray exclaimed weakly. So sleepy. Laki added, and soon everyone except for Naruto and Makarov had fallen asleep. A figure cloaked in a dark robe, wearing a mask and a cap, entered the guild hall. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Mistigan! Both Makarov and Naruto called out in unison. Mistigan approached the job request board and tore off a job notice before walking over to Makarov to show it to him. I shall return, Mistigan's deep voice resonated. Wait, lift your sleeping spell before you leave, Makarov urged. Naruto watched as Mistigan made his way across the guild hall, counting down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, before he exited. Instantly, everyone awoke from their slumber. Ah man, was Mistigan here? Jet asked. Naruto nodded. Yeah. What a jerry, Joy muttered. Does he have to put us to sleep every time he visits? Levi wondered. Who's Mistigan? Lucy asked, intrigued. For one, he's a contender for Fairy Tail's strongest wizard, Elfman explained. Really? Lucy replied, astonished. Yeah, Gray and Naruto said in unison. And for some reason he prefers to keep his appearance hidden, so whenever he comes here to take a job, he casts a sleeping spell. That's kind of creepy, Lucy remarked. Only Whiskers and Master Makarov have ever gotten a good look at his face, Gray added. That's not true. I've seen him before, a voice interjected. Laxus! Elfman exclaimed. Talk about rare. Jet said. You're hardly ever here. Wakaba chimed in. Is another contender, Laxus and Mistigan are on par with Whiskers. Gray said, and Naruto scowled at Laxus, feeling a strong dislike for him. Really? This guy is as powerful as Naruto. Lucy mumbled, trying to defend Mistigan. Mistigan is just a little shy. You should all respect his privacy. Laxus retorted. Natsu woke up, having heard that familiar voice. All right, Laxus, you and I right now. Natsu demanded. Getting your butt kicked once today wasn't enough? Gray asked, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, if you can't even win against the redhead or Whiskers, why bother with me? Laxus replied, and Naruto gritted his teeth in frustration. What are you trying to say? Urza demanded, her voice rising. No need to get all worked up, Urza. Whiskers. Gray said, a hint of fear in his tone. I'm saying I'm the guild's strongest wizard. Not even Whiskers can beat me. Laxus declared arrogantly. Hey, we can fight anytime, any place, you arrogant fool. Naruto challenged. Not yet, Makarov said firmly. Naruto sighed, finally having. Calm down. I think you made him grumpy. Laxus teased. Shut up. Natsu shouted in response. That's enough from you, Laxus, Makarov ordered. The most powerful one in the guild isn't some girl, a mysterious figure, or a blonde ninja with whiskers. If you want to know what the strongest wizard looks like, you're looking right at him. Laxus declared with arrogance. Natsu, Naruto, Gray, and Urza all exchanged scowls. Hey Mirajane, can I ask you something? What was the master talking about earlier? Why can't we go up to the second floor? Lucy inquired. That area is reserved for advanced members of the guild. The jobs posted on the board up there are far more challenging than the ones down here. They're called S-Class quests, Mirajane explained. S-Class? Lucy echoed, intrigued. They're jobs so perilous that one misstep could lead to serious consequences, but with that risk comes a greater reward. Master Makarov personally selects the wizards he believes can handle these tasks. There are only 6 S-Class members, including Laxus, Mistigan, Urza, and Naruto-kun. However, he is an S-Class ninja, not a wizard. Honestly, Lucy, I wouldn't worry about it. In my opinion, no amount of money is worth risking your life. Yeah, no kidding. By the way, has Naruto-kun taken on an S-Class job yet? Lucy asked again. Yes, many in fact. Naruto-kun has probably completed more S-Class jobs here than anyone else because back in the ninja world, he was sent on numerous S-Class missions, which were far more dangerous than the ones here, Mira replied. Wow, was all Lucy could say. Wow, Mistigan, Laxus, and Naruto-kun. This is incredible. I can't believe how many renowned wizards are in Fairy Tail. And I can't believe Naruto-kun is S-Class. I think I'm starting to understand how everyone is ranked within the guild. I need to start working my way to the top. Lucy thought in awe. Lucy arrived at her front door, grabbed the doorknob and turned it. She walked into her house, only to find Natsu and Happy exercising on her bed, without their shirts. Lucy screamed, startled, and quickly pushed them off. You guys are so messy. Why don't you two train at your own place? Lucy exclaimed angrily. Now, Lucy, if we want to work together like a team, we need to train like one. Natsu said, handing her a pink dumbbell. We thought you'd like the pink dumbbell, Happy added. I don't care what color it is. I'm not lifting weights with you. Lucy protested. We need to step it up if we want to beat Laxus, Urza, and Whiskers, Natsu insisted, doing push-ups on her floor with Happy. Aye, sir. Happy chirped in agreement. I just want a little peace and quiet, so get out. Lucy demanded. Don't worry, we'll train quietly, Lucy. Natsu whispered, increasing the speed of his push-ups. Why does this kind of stuff always happen to me? Lucy lamented. Natsu paused his push-ups. I've made a decision, Natsu announced. Lucy looked at him curiously. Natsu grinned. Our team is ready for the big time S-Class. Yeah, check it out. Happy said, holding up the S-Class job they had taken. How did you get that? I thought we weren't allowed to go to the second floor. Did you trick Naruto-kun or bribe him with ramen? Lucy asked, astonished. Well, I just climbed the stairs and took it. Happy replied casually. You little sneak. Lucy shouted, and Happy giggled in response. Since this is our first S-Class quest, we decided to go with the smallest reward we found on the board, but 7 million is still a lot of jewels. Natsu said, finally putting his vest back on. We're not ready for it. If the master knew we had this job request, he'd be furious. Lucy exclaimed nervously. Yeah, but I think he'll actually end up being proud of us if we pull this off. Natsu replied with enthusiasm. Lucy sighed. You know, this might be the most reckless thing you've ever done, Natsu. If you want to rise up the ranks, you should really try following the guild's rules, she admonished. Come on, we won't make S-Class with that kind of attitude. How do you think Whiskers became S-Class? He defeated Urza in a match, and she's also an S-Class wizard. Natsu argued. Well, you can handle this on your own. I'm staying right here, Lucy declared. But the job is to save a tropical island. Happy chimed in. Really? Lucy asked, intrigued. It's the cursed island of Galuna. Natsu and Happy teased together. No way, I'm definitely not going now, Lucy insisted. I'll give you half the fish I catch, Lucy. Happy offered eagerly. Fine, we're going, Natsu decided. Happy agreed. That's the best idea you've had all day, Lucy remarked. Hold on. For crying out loud, would you use the door? Lucy sighed in exasperation. She noticed the job request and panicked. Oh no, they left the job request here. Now everyone is going to think I stole it. What do I do? Lucy shouted frantically. She paused and picked up the paper. Is this for real? On top of the huge reward, you also get a gate key? Lucy mused, chuckling to herself. Hey, wait up, you guys. I've decided to come along. Lucy called out to Natsu and Happy. Master, I don't know what's happened, but one of the S-Class quests is missing. Mira rushed down the stairs to inform Makarov, her voice filled with urgency. Makarov took another sip of his drink, only to spit it out in shock. Say what? One of the jobs from the second floor is missing. Wakaba said in disbelief. But jobs up there are S-Class quests. Does anyone know who took off with it? Mikao asked. Well, it's either someone really strong or really foolish, Laki said. Was it Naruto? We all know he takes a lot of S-Class quests. Lise Anna inquired. Even so, Naruto would have alerted everyone in the guild before setting off on an S-Class quest, Mira replied. I know, a little blue cat flew up here and took it off the board, Laxus said, sitting on the second floor. It was Happy? Mira exclaimed in shock. He must have stolen it for Natsu and Lucy. Wakaba assumed. That's crazy. What are they thinking? Droy wondered. They've got some nerve taking on an S-Class quest, Alzak said. I don't know if I'd call it nerve, but it's definitely bold, Biska added. That's a serious breach of the rules. Hey Gramps, a stunt like that will get you kicked out of the guild, am I right? Not that it matters. Those three aren't going to make it back from an S-Class quest, Laxus said nonchalantly. Laxus, if you knew, why didn't you stop them? Mira asked angrily, scowling at him. Oh, lighten up. All I saw was a little blue cat flying off with a piece of paper in its mouth trying to act all sneaky. I had no idea it was Happy. Besides, Natsu's not cleared for S-Class. I never thought he'd break the rules, Laxus replied casually. But all Mira gave him was an angry glare. Huh, you haven't given me that look in a while, Laxus said unfazed. This isn't good. Well, which job was it? Makarov asked. For lifting the curse on Galuna Island, Mira answered. What? Makarov exclaimed in shock. Galuna Island? Mikao and Wakaba shouted in unison. Are they insane? Laki said rhetorically. They're even bolder than we thought. Alzak and Biska added. Laxus, go and fetch them at once. Makarov demanded. Yeah right, I have better things to do, Gramps. Besides, everyone in Fairy Tail is supposed to be able to take care of themselves, right? Laxus said. I don't care how you feel about Natsu, the fact is, you're the only one strong enough to bring them back by force, Makarov insisted. To be honest, I think this job is more suited for Whiskers, Laxus smirked. He grunted in frustration. Fine then, what about Urza? Where is she? She can definitely bring them back by force. I mean, Natsu is terrified of Urza. Makarov said confidently. Mira and Lise Anna shook their heads. Urza is on her own mission right now, Mira replied. Makarov was getting restless. Fine then, how about Naruto? Where is he? Send him to fetch them, Makarov said. I'm sorry, Master, but Naruto is also occupied with a job. I don't think Urza or Naruto will be back in the next few days, Mira said sadly. Damn it. Naruto and Urza are the only ones here, other than Laxus, strong enough to bring them back by force. Makarov shouted in frustration. Gray immediately stood up, catching Makarov's attention. Sorry, Master, but I'm afraid I have to disagree with you, he said. Wow. This brings back memories. It seems like only yesterday when we met for the first time. If only Naruto were here, Lucy said nostalgically. It was yesterday, you don't have to get all sentimental, Natsu replied. Yeah, you sound like an old lady, Happy teased, prompting Lucy to respond with an annoyed expression. Well, let's go find a boat that'll take us to Galuna. Lucy smiled, walking toward the harbor while Natsu stared in disbelief. Are you crazy? Forget the boat, why can't we just swim for it? Natsu asked. Lucy sighed. And you think I'm the one who's crazy? She replied. Galuna Island? No way. Not for a million jewels. A boatman refused. Around here, it's bad luck to even mention that name, another added. Sorry kids, but I don't think anyone will be willing to take you, another boatman said. That island is cursed, so unless you have a death wish I'd stay far away, another boatman warned. Don't know why you'd want to go there, but no sailor with sense is going to take you. Not even pirates go near that place, one boatman noted. Are you serious? Lucy asked in fear. Natsu chuckled. Well, it looks like we're going to be swimming after all, he said with a grin. Sure does. Man, it'd be even more awesome if we could walk on water like Whiskers. Happy added. Oh yeah. Natsu replied. We're not swimming, Natsu. Lucy shouted. I found you. Gray's voice suddenly called out, putting his hands on both Natsu and Lucy's shoulders, startling all three of them as they jumped back. It's Gray! Lucy exclaimed. What are you doing here? Natsu asked. Gramps found out about your plan and sent me to bring you back, Gray answered. Why? We're not in danger yet. Natsu shouted. If you come back now, you might avoid being kicked out of the guild. Maybe, Gray said. Kicked out? Lucy trembled. I don't care. I'm going on this S-class quest. Natsu replied stubbornly. Man, you're way out of your league here. You're not like Whiskers, who's had plenty of S-class experience. Unless you're like him and can come back from an S-class quest unscathed, you need to come back home. When Urza or Whiskers find out about this, they're going to be furious. Gray warned. Oh! Lucy, Natsu, and Happy trembled. Please, Gray, you've got to save me. I told them this was a bad idea, but they forced me to come along. Happy begged. You are such a liar. Lucy shouted angrily. I've got to prove my strength to Urza and Whiskers. So like it or not, I'm doing this. Natsu declared. Master ordered me to bring you home. I'll drag you back if I have to. Don't make me hurt you, buddy. Gray threatened, conjuring up ice in his hand. Natsu retaliated by igniting his hands with fire. I'd like to see you try. Natsu shot back. Huh, wizards? Excuse me, but are you wizards? Have you come to lift the curse on the island? The boatman asked. Yeah. Natsu answered. Well, maybe, Lucy said uncertainly. Not going to happen. Gray said firmly. Get in, the boatman said. What? Lucy shouted in disbelief. Seriously? Natsu said excitedly. No way. Gray demanded. Natsu chuckled mischievously and knocked Gray unconscious. There we go. We're ready when you are, sir. Natsu said confidently. You sure we should bring him with us? Lucy asked nervously. We can't let him go back and tell the guild, because the next person they'll send is Urza or even Whiskers. Natsu trembled in fear along with Lucy. Natsu hung over the boat, feeling queasy. Okay, now I'm starting to get scared, Lucy whimpered. Well, look on the bright side, at least you're not tied up. This is your fault too, buddy. Why did you decide to let us on? Gray asked angrily. The name is Bobo, and if you must know, I used to be a citizen of Galuna Island, but I had to flee. I just couldn't take it anymore. I should warn you, tragedy befalls anyone who steps foot on the island unless you're able to lift the curse, Bobo explained. As he removed his cloak, revealing a demonic arm, Lucy gasped in shock. This vile demon's curse, Bobo said with disgust. Whoa, your arm. What happened to it? Gray asked. Is that the curse? Lucy asked nervously. Bobo only stared silently at the teens. We're almost there, that's Galuna Island, he spoke again. The whole team looked across the water to see an island with the mountaintop glowing. Lucy gasped. Why is the mountaintop glowing like that? She asked. What the? Where did he go? Lucy shouted, unable to see Bobo anymore. Did he fall out? Gray asked. It's like he disappeared into thin air. Happy added, as Natsu's condition worsened. What's that sound? Lucy asked, hearing a low rumbling noise. Gray turned around and his eyes widened. Lucy, he trembled. Lucy turned to see a massive tsunami ready to engulf them. She screamed in fear. Now don't panic, just hold on. Gray tried to calm the team as the boat began to swirl in the tsunami, struggling against the powerful waves. Happy, can you grab onto the boat and fly? Lucy shouted. I'm not strong enough. Happy shouted back. Everyone was thrown off the boat and pulled into the whirlpool. Lucy groaned, slowly opening her eyes. Where am I? What a mess, she mumbled weakly, walking over to the rest of the team. Looks like we made it, you guys. Natsu shouted happily. We're lucky it brought us to shore, Lucy said. Well, I don't know if I would call it lucky, Gray added. I can't help but wonder what happened to the guy who brought us here. Right after he told us about the curse, he vanished, Lucy said suspiciously. Forget about that stuff and let's go exploring, Natsu said with joy. Aye. Happy agreed. We've been here for 30 seconds and you guys have already forgotten about the mission? Lucy deadpanned. Apparently, there's only one village on the entire island. The village chief is the one who put in the request, so I guess we need to go find him, Lucy assumed. Not so fast, Gray said, slowly standing up. Give it up, Gray. You can't take us back to the guild now that the boat's been destroyed, unless you can walk on water like Whiskers, Natsu said. You're right. I'm coming with you. There's no way I'm letting the two of you clowns become S-class before I do. If you were kicked out, it would be pretty boring. Gramps will be mad, but if we pull this off, he won't be mad at us for long, Gray smiled. Natsu and Lucy smirked. Let's go. Gray smirked back. Yeah. The rest of the team replied. Well, we found the village. Now what? Gray wondered. Check out that gate. When they say, keep out, they mean it, Natsu noted. Anyone home? We came here to help you. Lucy shouted over the gate. Let's bust in. Natsu suggested. No way. Lucy shouted. Who goes there? The gatekeepers demanded. We're wizards from Fairy Tale responding to your request. Lucy replied. Why weren't we notified when you accepted the job? The gatekeeper asked. Well. Lucy began. Sorry, but it was just a mix-up with the paperwork. Gray finished. Then let me see your emblems, right now, the gatekeeper demanded. So that's exactly what they did. Natsu revealed his emblem on his right shoulder. Happy took off his green bag to show his mark on his back. Lucy held up her right hand, and Gray lifted his shirt to reveal his mark. The gatekeepers gasped. They're here. They're really here, they exclaimed joyfully, opening the gates. It's like we're walking into a monster's cave, Happy said. Are you trying to freak me out? Lucy whispered irritably. I'm Mocha, the village chief. On behalf of the village, I welcome you, and there is something you need to see. Now, my people, Mocha said. All of the villagers removed their cloaks, revealing transformed, demonic limbs, while Lucy stared in horror. It's just like what happened to the guy on the boat. Gray said. Yeah, Lucy replied. Oh wow, your sideburns. Natsu exclaimed. Not that. I was trying to show you what happened to my arm. Everyone on this island has suffered disfigurement because of this curse. Not even the animals have been spared, Mocha said in distress. Excuse me for asking, but what makes you think it's a curse, sir? It could be some kind of infectious disease, Gray noted. We've consulted dozens of doctors, young man, but they all agree no such disease exists. You see, the symptoms began around the same time the moon fell under an evil spell, Mocha replied. What kind of spell? Lucy asked nervously. Since ancient times, this island has absorbed the light of the moon, causing it to glow beautifully. However, several years ago, the moon's color began to change, casting an eerie purple glow on the island, Mocha explained. Natsu narrowed his eyes. So the moon turned purple? He said, as Happy gasped at the sight of the purple moon appearing from behind the clouds. It's coming from behind the clouds. Happy said fearfully, as the clouds slowly moved away, revealing the moon, and sure enough, it was purple. Lucy gasped. Oh wow, it really is purple, she said in shock. Man, that's creepy looking, Gray added. It's the curse. Senbak, the change is about to begin. Mocha warned. Suddenly, the whole village cried out in distress as the purple moon shone down on them. Whoa! What the? Lucy shouted. The villagers' bodies began to change into demonic forms. They're changing. Gray shouted. Yeah, I see that, Lucy replied, frightened. Why is this happening to them? Natsu wondered. I'm sorry if our appearances frighten you, Mocha apologized, now fully transformed into a demon. It's okay, I'm just confused, Gray said. You poor people, Lucy said sympathetically. Oh man, you guys look so cool. Natsu exclaimed excitedly, shifting the mood dramatically. Oh man, I wish Naruto were here to punch him. Lucy thought. H, everyone said in confusion as Lucy and Gray gawked. It's awesome. You have horns and stuff. I'm so jealous. Natsu said. He thinks we look cool? A villager said in disbelief. No one's ever said that to us before, a female villager added. Natsu, you're being insensitive, they don't want to look like this. Lucy told him. Seriously? Natsu replied, surprised. Lucy sighed. Oh my bad. Then I guess we should help them out. Natsu suggested. That is why we're here, Happy replied. Get a clue, man. Gray sighed. Anyway, as you've seen, whenever the purple moon rises in the sky, everyone in the village transforms into a terrifying demon form. If this isn't a curse, then what else could it be? We'll return to normal in the morning when the sun rises. However, there are some unfortunate souls who can no longer revert to their human forms or have lost their sanity, Mocha explained as the villagers wept. How sad, Lucy said, her heart heavy. The fate of these poor souls in the grip of madness. We have no choice but to end their suffering, Mocha said, causing the teens to gasp in shock. But they might change back to normal someday, Natsu protested. If we wait for that to happen, the monsters will surely kill us all. We tried capturing them, but they always broke free. It's no use, once the transformation takes over, there is no way to save them. I know this all too well, I was forced to say goodbye to my very own son. Mocha broke down into tears, clutching a picture of his son. But the team gasped, recognizing the picture. That's the guy from the boat. But we just saw him, Lucy was interrupted by Gray shushing her. Now I understand how he disappeared on us like that. He's gone, but his spirit can't find peace, Gray realized, understanding that the Bobo they saw was a lingering spirit. Lucy widened her eyes in shock. A ghost? She thought, stunned. Please lift the evil curse on our island. If this continues, we may become victims ourselves. Mocha pleaded. We're not going to let that happen. We can fix this, I promise. Natsu vowed. There's only one way to lift this wretched curse. The moon. The moon must be removed from the sky. Mocha declared. The team gasped in disbelief. I never knew the moon could be so unsettling, Happy said nervously. Hurry up and close the window. You heard what the chief said. We have to stay out of the moonlight. You may not care, but I don't want to risk turning into a creepy monster. Lucy insisted. I'm not so sure about this job, guys, Natsu said. Do these people really think we can destroy the moon? Gray wondered. I wonder how many punches it would take. Do you think I can handle it? Natsu asked. Are you kidding me? Don't be ridiculous. Gray replied. Natsu, there isn't a single wizard alive who can do that, except for Naruto, Lucy pointed out. But that's the job we were hired to do. We can't take a job and then back out. That would make Fairy Tail look bad. If Whiskers were here, he'd probably agree with me, Natsu insisted. But what they're asking is impossible. Besides, Whiskers isn't here right now, even if he could destroy the moon, so stop bringing him into this. And how do you think you're going to get to the moon anyway? Gray asked. With Happy, of course. Natsu said. Huh, I don't think so, Happy replied. Okay, so we can't destroy the moon, but if we do some investigating, we might find a different way to lift the curse from the island, Lucy suggested. Gray threw his shirt at Lucy, taking off his pants and socks, looking ready for bed. You guys can do whatever you want, but after a long day, I need some sleep, Gray said. Please don't take off any more, Lucy begged, not wanting to see Gray in his state. Although, I wouldn't mind if it were Naruto. Lucy chuckled to herself. Okay, our investigation starts tomorrow. I'm hitting the sack. Natsu said, plopping down on the bed, lying on his stomach. Me too. Happy said, joining him. Sounds like a plan to me, Gray said, lying down. Lucy smiled. All right then, I'm pretty sleepy too. Good night, she said, rubbing her eyes. A few hours later. So loud. How am I supposed to sleep with the beast and the snorer keeping me awake? Lucy exclaimed, waking up to the boys' loud snores. It's so early. Gray yawned. Yep, I'm never up at this time, Natsu agreed. You two kept me up all night and I'm not complaining, so stop whining and let's go. Lucy said, while the boys slumped over, bags under their eyes. I, was all they replied. Open. Gate of the clock constellation. Horologium. Lucy chanted, summoning a human-sized, old-fashioned clock. The time is 7:48, Horologium announced. Do you really think we'll be able to find another way to lift the curse? Natsu asked. Well, we don't have much of a choice. The village may think the moon is cursed, but everyone else likes it, and destroying it might really cause problems, Gray pointed out. You're right. If the moon is gone, the tides might go crazy, and at night it would be pitch black. Natsu agreed. The salmon could go extinct, and they're my favorite fish. Happy added. Would you guys keep it down? We don't know what's lurking out here, so we shouldn't draw any attention, Horologium said on behalf of Lucy. You should walk on your own. I think Whiskers has been too nice to you. Now you don't even know how to walk because he always carries you. Natsu chastised. He's right. You just summon your spirit because Whiskers isn't here to carry you? Or are you just lazy? Man, Natsu is right. Whiskers has been way too nice. He should have just let you walk on your own. You're just lucky Whiskers is so kind, Gray agreed. Listen, this curse is really freaking me out. We have no idea what we're up against and I'm scared. Horologium admitted nervously. Are you kidding? This is awesome. I can't believe Whiskers actually gets to go on an S-class job. They rule. I can't wait to become S-Class so I can drag Whiskers along on one. Natsu said excitedly. Yeah, I bet I could probably freeze that stupid curse, Gray said nonchalantly, causing Lucy to sweat drop. You guys are idiots, Lucy exclaimed. Happy agreed. Suddenly, a loud stomping noise echoed. Natsu and Gray stopped walking and turned to see where it was coming from. It didn't take them long to figure it out. The boys both gawked at the sight. A giant rat stared right at them. Whoa! Natsu trembled. It's huge. Gray added. What are you waiting for? Get rid of it, you guys. Lucy shouted as the rat roared. Ice make shield. Gray chanted, summoning an icy barrier from the ground. But the rat released a foul gas. What's wrong? Did you seriously just sneak in here? Lucy asked irritably, noticing that Happy was with Horologium. Happy said, as Horologium quickly vanished from the gas, leaving Lucy and Happy exposed. Stinky! Lucy and Happy exclaimed, covering their noses in an attempt to block out the unpleasant smell. The rat laughed smugly. It's a rat! Lucy shouted in fear. Come on, Natsu, get up. Gray urged the pink-haired dragon slayer. The smell knocked him out, Happy replied. Let's go! Natsu shouted as the team sprang into action, fleeing from the rat, which began chasing after them. Releasing its noxious gas again, Gray shouted, Ice make floor. He created an icy surface, causing the rat to slip and fall. You should have done that in the first place. Natsu said. Shut up, Natsu. Gray retorted irritably. Lucy scanned their surroundings and noticed a temple in the forest. There's some kind of building over there. We should hide while we have the chance. Lucy called out, glancing back to see the boys still battling the giant rat. We should take it down while we can. Natsu and Gray shouted, while Lucy sighed, Give me a break. This place is massive. Lucy said in awe. Yeah, and it's falling apart, Natsu added. I wonder how old it is, Gray pondered. Natsu looked over, noticing strange ornaments hanging on the walls. What are those? He asked. They're moons. That makes sense, Galun. Island used to be called the Island of the Moons, Gray pointed out. A moon island, a moon curse, and moon symbols? You really have to wonder what it all means, Lucy said. Man, this place is a wreck. This floor doesn't even look safe to walk on, Natsu remarked, stomping on the ground to test it. Well, don't go stomping on it. Lucy warned, but it was too late. The floor cracked and all four of them fell through. Natsu, you idiot. Look what you did. We're not like Whiskers, who can walk on walls. Gray shouted as they landed. Natsu breathed heavily, buried under a pile of rocks. Hey, is everybody okay? He asked frantically. I'd be better if you hadn't knocked out the floor. Lucy said angrily. Here's a thought. Maybe if you think before you act, you wouldn't cause so much destruction. Gray scolded. Can you fly us out of here, Happy? Lucy asked. No, sorry. I wish we could walk on walls like Whiskers, Happy said disappointedly. We're underneath the temple, Gray said. Wow, it's a secret cave. This is so cool. Natsu exclaimed, running down a narrow hall. Would you quit running around like a crazy person? Gray shouted angrily. Natsu suddenly stopped, gasping as he looked at something. Natsu! Lucy said worriedly. What, is something wrong? Gray asked, catching up with them. Hey guys? What's that? Natsu asked, looking up at something. Gray walked over and widened his eyes, with Lucy sharing the same reaction. Gray's eyes widened in fear. That's impossible, he said, as the team stared at a demonic creature trapped in a massive block of ice. They all gaped in shock. It's Deliora. But how? How could this happen? Why is it here? What is it doing on Galuna Island? Gray demanded furiously. You've seen this thing before? Natsu asked, rushing over with Lucy. There's no way. Gray said, still in shock and disbelief. Gray, please try to calm down, Lucy begged. Gray slowly looked back up at the demon, finally calming down a bit. Now, can you tell us about it? Lucy asked. It's Deliora, the demon of destruction, Gray finally answered. Demon of destruction? Natsu said, confused. Destruction? Happy corrected. But why is it here? It doesn't make any sense. Gray shouted again. Footsteps echoed in the cave. The voices seemed to come from down here. A boy with frizzy blue hair and a man dressed like a dog approached. The team hid behind rocks, observing the two strangers. I hate being awake during the day, so Toby, when you got exposed to the moon drip, you got those pointy ears, the blue-haired boy teased. I already told you, they're for fashion, you jerk. Toby shouted irritably. Lighten up, I was just teasing you, the blue-haired man replied. Well, you don't have to be so mean about it, Toby retorted. The moon drip, could that be the name of the curse? Lucy whispered quietly. Yuka, Toby, something terrible has happened. A pink-haired girl with pigtails entered. What now, Sherry? Yuka asked. It's Angelica. She's been attacked and I'm sad, Sherry said, her voice heavy with emotion. You're moping around because somebody beat up your stupid pet rat? Toby shouted. She's not a rat, she's a brave hunter prowling the jungle to protect us. She is love. Sherry insisted. I don't know who these people are, but they seem like a bunch of oddballs. Especially the girl with the pet rat. Lucy whispered. Judging by the scent I picked up, they're not from the island, Natsu whispered. And they don't look like they have the demon curse, Happy added. Intruders, you say? Yuka said. And it's almost time to collect moonlight again. Oh, this is so sad. This news would displease the Cold Emperor. We should get rid of them before he finds out. Yes, we must find them before the moon's first light, Sherry said. Yuka smirked. Agreed. Since they've seen Deliora, we can't allow them to live. We'll give them the gift of eternal rest. We'll give them love, Sherry said again. You're talking about death, right? Toby asked, just as the three of them heard a rumbling sound, catching their attention as they turned to see. What was that? Sherry asked. Over there. Yuka said, and the three ran off. Nice job, Cat, Lucy said. Aye. Happy replied. Come on, we should have grabbed them and forced some answers out of them, Natsu complained. Not yet, we need to do some investigating, Lucy said. Natsu crossed his arms and scowled. Man, this job keeps getting more complicated, he said. Yeah, like who is this Cold Emperor guy? Happy asked. Deliora, I still don't understand what anyone would want with it, and how were they even able to find it? Gray wondered. Was it hidden somewhere? Lucy asked. It was sealed away inside a glacier on the northern continent. A decade ago, this immortal demon ravaged Isvan. Countless people lost their lives. The woman who taught me how to use my magic, my master Yor, sacrificed everything to seal it away. I don't know if it has anything to do with the curse on the island, but I do know that it doesn't belong here. This Cold Emperor, we have to find out who it is. If they tarnish my master's legacy, they're going to regret the day they were born. Gray said furiously. Deliora. Gray said, are you sure this is the demon your master sealed away? Natsu asked. There's no doubt about it, Gray confirmed. I wonder why it was transported all the way from the northern continent to Galuna Island, Happy pondered. You don't think this demon could have something to do with the island's curse, do you? Lucy asked. It may be enclosed in ice, but that thing is still alive. Gray warned. Sweet. Let me take a shot at it. I'm not afraid of any stupid demon. Natsu declared confidently. Brute force isn't the only way to solve problems, Natsu, Lucy sighed. A little fire should do the trick. Natsu replied, striking a nerve in Gray, who widened his eyes and punched Natsu out of frustration and fear, his expression shadowed by his bangs. Natsu groaned, Gray just punched me. Happy exclaimed. Well, this wouldn't be the first time he's done that, Lucy remarked, unfazed. What's the deal? Why did you hit me, Gray? Natsu asked, but he stopped when he saw Gray's serious demeanor. I don't want you and your flames anywhere near it. If that ice melts and Deliora is revived, there's no way we'd be able to stop it. I don't even think Whiskers can, Gray said. Come on, do you really think a huge chunk of ice would be that easy to melt? Natsu pointed out. Gray sighed. No. Hey, are you okay? Lucy asked Gray, walking up behind him, and placing her hand on his shoulder. I'm the one who got hit for no good reason. Watch your temper, man. Natsu shouted, irritation evident in his voice. Please, you're one to talk, Happy noted. Many years ago, my master Yor cast a spell called Ice Shell on this demon, enclosing it in a form of ice that can't be melted. It's so strong that even the most powerful flame spells have no effect on it. If they knew the ice couldn't be melted, then why did they bring it here? Gray wondered. Well, maybe they didn't know. They might have brought it to try to melt it somehow, Lucy suggested. Why would they do that? Gray shouted angrily again, causing Lucy to flinch slightly. I have no idea, Lucy admitted nervously. Gray sighed. I just don't get it. Who would bring Deliora here, and more importantly, why? We need answers. Let's go find those guys, Natsu said. Yeah, okay, Lucy agreed. No, we're going to stay here and wait, Gray insisted. Wait for what? Happy asked. For the moon to come out, Gray answered. The moon? But it's the middle of the afternoon. Forget that. If I have to hang out here all day, I'll die of boredom. Natsu exclaimed, unaware that he was being ignored. Wait, why does the moon matter? Lucy asked nervously. I have a feeling that the curse on the island and Deliora are somehow connected, and I heard those guys we saw mention something about collecting moonlight, Gray replied. I heard that too. I guess waiting until nightfall is the only way we're going to find out what's going on, Lucy sighed. I'm not waiting. We've got work to do. Natsu insisted, but he immediately fell asleep on the ground. Well, that was fast, Lucy remarked dryly. Happy agreed. Must be nice. He doesn't have to worry about anything but eating, fighting and sleeping, Lucy said, sitting down on a rock with her elbow resting on her thigh and her chin resting on her hand. That's Natsu for ya, Happy replied. I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous, Lucy said, glancing over at Gray, who was sitting close to Deliora, lost in thought. Gray thought. Flashback. A young Gray panted heavily. Are you going to be able to keep up, Gray? I warned you, training with me can be tough, Yor said. Yeah, but I'll do whatever it takes, the young boy proclaimed. Flashbackins. Lucy groaned. I know I agreed to wait, but this is so boring. I wish Naruto-kun was here, she whimpered. Happy said. Oh, I know. Open. Gate of the Heart Constellation, Lyra. Lucy chanted, summoning a female celestial wizard who appeared with a small harp behind her. Oh wow, I haven't seen you in forever, Lucy. Lyra said joyfully. Oh hey Lyra. Lucy greeted. Say, how come you never call me anymore? It's not fair, I would love to help you out. But you ignore me, Meanie. Lyra exclaimed. Meanie huh? You were the one who told me you were available 3 days a month, Lucy replied. Are you sure about that? Lyra asked while Happy deadpanned. Great, another weirdo. So, what would you like to hear me sing? Any requests? Lyra asked. Nope, whatever you want, Lucy answered. Do you know any songs about fish? Happy inquired. Okay, I think I've got a song you're going to love, Lucy, Lyra said. Lyra has the most beautiful singing voice, Lucy stated. Well, Mira is a singer too, you know, and she sings songs about fish for me, Happy replied with sass. With that, Lyra began strumming her harp, producing one of the most beautiful sounds in history. Happy relaxed and enjoyed the pleasant music. Gray reminisced about his past with his master, recalling all the training sessions with UR, his failures, and eventually finding himself in tears. Lucy, Lyra, and Happy gasped. Gray? What's wrong? Lucy asked worriedly. Nothing, I'm fine, Gray replied. You seem upset, Happy noted. Well, one of Lyra's talents is singing songs that relate to what our audience is feeling, Lucy explained. Did her song make you cry? Happy asked. I wasn't crying, Gray denied, his eyes still shadowed by his bangs. Maybe you should sing something a little more upbeat. Lucy suggested. You should have just said that in the first place. Lyra exclaimed. I think we should skip the song, we need to stay quiet. We don't want to be found out, Gray said. Lucy and Happy slept alongside Natsu for a while until a rattling noise above woke Lucy from her slumber. What's that weird noise? Lucy wondered. Is it night yet? Natsu asked, waking up as well. A purple magic circle appeared on the ceiling just above Deliora, casting an eerie purple light on it. It's a beam of light, Lucy exclaimed, shining down from the ceiling. Natsu added. But why is it purple? It must be moonlight. Gray assumed. What's going on? I'm getting scared, Gray. Happy said fearfully as the four looked up at the beam of light. It's shining on Deliora. Gray noticed. I don't think that's a coincidence. Natsu said. Let's go. We have to find out where the light's coming from. Gray urged. Happy agreed, and so the four ran back to the surface. When they reached the surface, they saw the same purple magic circle and the eerie purple light. Why would someone cast a magic circle inside this old temple? Gray wondered. Let's find out. Natsu said, and the four began running again. When they finally reached the rooftop, they found a group of people in dark clothing surrounding the purple light, chanting spells. The four sneaked up and hid behind a rock, peering over to observe. What are they doing? Natsu asked. The moon. Gray said. It looks like those robed figures are chanting some spell to collect the moonlight, Natsu said. But what for? Lucy wondered. It's a spell called the moon drip, Lyra answered, startling Lucy. What are you still doing here? Lucy asked. I see, that's what they're trying to do, Lyra said. Okay, then fill us in. Lucy urged. They're using the moon drip spell to melt the ice surrounding that demon underground so they can resurrect it, Lyra explained. What? Natsu exclaimed in shock. They can't. The ice used in an ice shell can't be melted. Gray replied. I hate to say it, but that's not entirely true. While the ice shell is strong, it can be melted using moon drip. Focused moon energy can break any magical spell, Lyra said. Happy stared in horror. Oh no, he said. Idiots. They have no idea what Deliora can do. Gray said furiously. I think what the islanders believe is a curse against them may actually be side effects of the moon drip. Concentrated moon energy can contaminate your body. I'm afraid those poor islanders have been exposed to way too much of it, Lyra said. I'll make them pay. Natsu vowed, but Lucy stretched out her elbow, knocking him over. Hold it. Someone is coming this way, Lucy warned. As a figure approached, they remained hidden. The man wore heavy armor with a helmet featuring 2 horns. The heavily armored man walked over with Yuka, Toby, and Sherry following close behind. What a waste. I lost so much precious sleep over nothing. We searched all day for the intruders but never found a trace of them, Yuka said disappointingly. Maybe there weren't any. Toby suggested. I'm afraid I have some sad news, Cold Emperor. We thought we had intruders during the day, but it seems they got away somehow. I cannot speak of love in this situation, Sherry said. Intruders? The Cold Emperor asked. Gray gasped. So that guy's their leader, Natsu said. He's trying to act all high and mighty, wearing that ridiculous mask, Lucy said with disgust. I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. Happy said. Has Deliora been awakened yet? The Cold Emperor asked. It should be later tonight or tomorrow, sir, Sherry answered. Which one, girl? Toby shouted. The time has almost come. If you see those intruders again, kill them. I don't want anyone getting in my way, the Cold Emperor commanded, causing Gray's eyes to widen in shock. They must have been villagers. They're the only other people on this island, Sherry said. Then destroy the village, the Cold Emperor added. Yes, sir. Sherry said. Understood, Yuka added. What? Natsu shouted in anger. But the villagers didn't have anything to do with this. Lucy protested. Yeah, we have to stop them. Natsu agreed. It's a shame there has to be bloodshed, the Cold Emperor said. That voice. It can't be. Gray said, still in shock. Natsu jumped on top of the rock, revealing his teammates. I've had enough of this sneaking around. It's not the villagers, we're the intruders you're after. Natsu shouted, flames bursting from his mouth. Natsu chuckled. Geez, I guess there's no turning back now, huh? Lucy sighed, getting up and preparing for battle. I want to help out too. Want me to sing? Lyra asked happily. Lucy sighed. No, I want you to go back, she said. Ah, you're no fun. Lyra said disappointingly, then disappeared. I know that mark. They're from Fairy Tail. Sherry exclaimed, noticing the mark on Natsu's shoulder. Interesting. Those villagers must have gone to a magical guild for help, Yuka said. Don't worry about them, go eradicate the village, the Cold Emperor ordered. Lucy and Natsu gasped. But why? Natsu asked. Anyone who stands in my way, whether deliberately or not, is my enemy, the Cold Emperor claimed. Say what? Natsu shouted, charging at the Cold Emperor, with Gray catching up and running past him. Why you? Stop this crazy ceremony right now. Gray demanded, summoning icy shards from the ground that grew larger as they approached Yuka, Sherry, and Toby, who evaded the attack. The Cold Emperor countered with a similar move, and the 2 icy attacks collided, building up and finally canceling each other out. Lucy gasped in shock. He's an ice wizard too? Happy shouted. Gray glared at the Cold Emperor, who seemed unfazed. Lion, Gray said, and Natsu widened his eyes. Lion? Lucy asked in surprise. How could you? Do you have any idea what you're doing? Gray demanded. Oh Gray, it's been quite a while, hasn't it? Lion said, causing Lucy and Happy to gasp in even more shock. Why would you revive Deliora? Gray demanded. To think that you are the wizards called to this island to help those poor villagers. Did you come knowing you would find me, or is this just mere coincidence? Not that it makes any difference to me, Lion said. An acquaintance of yours, Cold Emperor? Yuka asked. Do as you were ordered, I can handle the intruders on my own, Lion commanded, and immediately all 3 of them vanished. Hey, come back here. Natsu demanded, charging after them. No, Natsu, don't go near him. Gray tried to warn, but it was too late. Lion conjured ice, which began building up around Natsu, eventually encasing him in a solid ice ball. Natsu! Lucy shouted with worry. Happy, get Lucy out of here. Gray shouted. Aye. Happy said, taking off into the air with Lucy. Wait! Lucy shouted as the 2 ice wizards began their match again. Gray shot another round of icy shards at Lion, who deflected it with an ice shield. What? I can't move! Natsu exclaimed. Hold on. We can't just leave Natsu like that. Lucy shouted as Happy carried her. He was hit by a type of ice magic that instantly freezes the air. If we had stayed there longer, we would have been frozen too. Happy said. Who cares? We have to save him. Lucy insisted. But who's going to save the village if all of us are turned to ice? Happy said, tearing up. Oh, I'm sorry, Happy. It must have been hard for you to leave him behind, Lucy apologized. Happy sniffed. Now I really wish Whiskers were here, he whimpered. Don't you worry. I'm sure he'll be fine. Ice is no match for his salamander, right? I bet Naruto would have said the same thing if he were here. Lucy assured. Aye. Happy replied. You distracted me long enough for the girl and the cat to escape chivalrous but ultimately pointless. There's no way those two can stop my minions, Lion assumed. Don't underestimate the power of fairy tale wizards. Including Whiskers, even though he is a ninja. Natsu defended Lucy and his friends. Gray glanced over at him and kicked Natsu, sending him tumbling. What's the big idea, Gray? Natsu shouted as he rolled away. I see you're as reckless as ever. Was he not one of your allies? Lion asked. You and I both know you could blow up that ice and him with it. Gray retorted angrily. So you chose to send him safely outside my magic. That was a clever move, Lion remarked. I don't understand why you're trying to act superior with me, Lion. You're not. We're not UR students anymore. Gray shouted, his anger escalating. I'm well aware of that, painfully aware. Our beloved teacher is no longer with us, Lion said sadly, removing his mask. Her final act was sealing that monster away. Are you really so careless that you would try to destroy our master's legacy? Gray shouted again. Don't delude yourself, we both know you're the one who killed UR, Lion said, finally revealing his face, which had white spiky hair. Gray's eyes widened in shock. And yet you don't seem to feel any guilt. How cruel, Lion said with disdain. Natsu struggled as his face was pressed into the ground, unable to move due to the ice encasing him. Finally, he freed himself by propelling himself with fire and landing on his feet, chuckling triumphantly. Gray, you punk. You're gonna pay for this. Natsu yelled into the distance. He attempted to melt the ice with his fire, but it was ineffective. My fire power isn't making a dent in this ice. What's the deal? I gotta get back to the village. I'll just have to run. Oh man, this is harder than I thought it would be. Natsu said, trying to run quickly, but he only moved at a snail's pace. On the seas, a pirate ship sailed through the water, with exhausted crew members lying on the deck, groaning. The captain stood at the wheel, watching the waters. Why do you want to go to Galuna Island? It's scary, he said fearfully, turning to look at someone. Naruto sighed. I would do as she says, dude. You don't want to make her mad, he warned. But, the captain began. Just shut up and steer. Urza demanded, and immediately the captain turned back to the sea. If you drop us off somewhere, you can have the boat. Please, I'm begging you to. I've heard that island is cursed, anyone who steps foot will turn into a demon, the captain exclaimed. Seeing the mood she's in, I don't think Urza really cares, and neither do I, Naruto chuckled. I will take that chance, Urza said sternly. But why do you have to go there? The captain asked. Naruto sighed. To bring back some rule breakers, he answered. Yes, when rules are broken, the guilty must be punished. And that is all I can tell you, Urza stated. She's so cool, one crew member said. And the blonde guy over there with the whiskers is looking quite handsome, a female crew member added, swooning over Naruto. Naruto smirked. And she's impressive too, a male crew member chimed in. We don't like rule breakers either, another added. We'll help you catch them if you want, said yet another. Sure. Naruto smiled. Great, now let's hurry, Urza said. All right. Everyone cheered, including the captain, as they made their way to the island. Enough with the games, Gray. You're the one who murdered you, so just admit it. I'm surprised you have the guts to even speak her name. Lion shouted angrily, launching another attack at Gray, causing him to cry out in pain. Lion! Gray groaned, slowly getting back up. What's wrong? Don't tell me the guilt is finally getting to you. I'm warning you, don't try to interfere. Whether you like it or not, I'm resurrecting Deliora, Lion declared. Gray glared at Lion. I won't let you, he vowed. Lion dropped his mask, preparing for battle. It's just like old times, but I've grown much stronger since then. Ice make eagles. Lion shouted, sending a swarm of icy eagles toward Gray. Ice make shield. Gray shouted, summoning an icy barrier to block Lion's eagles. However, the eagles maneuvered over the top, still managing to strike Gray, causing him to yell in pain. While your specialty is creating inanimate objects with static ice magic, mine is creating living creatures with active ice magic. Did you forget my ice has the ability to move? Lion taunted as Gray dodged another round of eagles. Ice make hammer. Gray shouted while still in the air, launching an icy hammer at Lion. Ice make ape. Lion countered, summoning an ape to block the hammer. Gray landed on the ground. How pathetic, you still use 2 hands to cast your ice-making spells? Lion mocked. Yeah, because that's what you are taught us. Single-hand casting is incomplete and unbalanced, Gray replied. Well, I am the exception to that rule. I surpassed UR's skill level a long time ago, Lion bragged. Shut your mouth. Gray spat. Regardless, ever since we were children, you've never been able to land a single hit on me, Lion teased. Gray grunted in frustration. I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. Ice make geyser. Gray shouted. A massive icy geyser erupted from the ground, hitting Lion and seemingly defeating him, causing the ground to shake as the spellcasters screamed and fled for safety. But the geyser was stopped, and Lion emerged completely unscathed. Nothing has changed, I was always the superior student, and I'm still stronger than you. I mastered single-handed ice magic while you still rely on 2 hands. It's just like the old days, we may have chosen different paths, but we're frozen in time. Our rankings as wizards never change, Lion said, scowling at Gray. Lion held up his hand, ice forming around it, and suddenly an icy dragon erupted from the ground, sending Gray flying. That's why I'm resurrecting Deliora, to prove that I am more than Uar's star pupil. As a child, I only dreamed of one thing. The day I would surpass Uar's abilities as a wizard. But you ruined it for me, Gray. After she died, I thought my lifelong dream of surpassing her had been dashed. Until I realized there is one way. If I can defeat Deliora, a demon so powerful that even Uar couldn't vanquish it, then I will have surpassed her power. My dream will finally become a reality, Lion declared as Gray picked himself up from the ground. Listen to me. That creature destroyed everything we cared about. And you want to bring it back just to prove how strong you are. That's insane. Please. You can't do this. Gray shouted, desperation lacing his voice. But Lion only shot another chunk of ice at Gray, sending him soaring through the air as he cried out in pain. You can't do this. Really? Lion shouted angrily, launching more ice eagles at Gray. Gray landed hard on the ground, grunting. Funny you say that. Those were the exact words we said to you that fateful day. Surely you haven't forgotten? It's because you challenged Deliora that Uar lost her life. Lion shouted, summoning a massive fist that erupted from the ground, sending Gray flying once again as he let out a pained cry. I can't stand you speaking her name in my presence. Begone. Lion shouted, unleashing another ice dragon at Gray. This is the end, Gray, he said as the ice dragon struck Gray once more, leaving him in agony. Meanwhile, Happy and Lucy made their way to the village, accompanied by Natsu. Gray lay on the ground, feeling defeated by his childhood friend, now turned rival. Flashback. What's the matter? Don't tell me you're giving up that easily. Get up, Gray. You are urged. Flashbackins. Get up, Gray. You look terrible. He really gave you a beating, huh? If only Whiskers were here to help you, Natsu said. Natsu, what are you doing here? Gray asked weakly. I didn't know how to get back to the village, so I climbed back up to look for it. Come on, let's go, Natsu replied, gently lifting Gray by his shirt. Wait, I can walk. Where's Lion? Gray grumbled. Don't know. By the time I made it back, everyone had vanished, Natsu said as Gray slowly got to his feet but immediately began to stumble. Natsu quickly supported him. Natsu then swung Gray lightly over his shoulders, which felt like carrying a heavy block of ice. Now hold on, we have to hurry and get back to the village before they do, Natsu said, causing Gray's eyes to widen. Flashback. No way. Deliora is out of your league, Gray. It'll destroy you. Don't go. You are warned. I am going on this S-class quest, Natsu insisted. Natsu, you're way out of your league here. Just come home. Gray replied. Flashbackins. Gray gritted his teeth. Hey, he called out weakly. Yeah. Natsu replied. I'm sorry. I didn't believe in you. I'm no better, Gray apologized, tears streaming down his face. Natsu stopped walking. Quit feeling sorry for yourself just because you lost a fight. You're a member of Fairy Tail, and we don't give up when times are tough. Just put it behind you and keep moving forward. Natsu said, and Gray listened in shock. Natsu began running again. Oh great, now it's even harder to run, he grunted, hopping on each leg to move. Listen up. The people who caused the curse that transformed you are planning an attack on the village. Lucy warned. They're coming here to fight us? One villager asked. Yes, but I have a plan. We'll capture them and lock them up until they tell us how to change you back, Lucy said. The villagers began to whisper nervously among themselves. The only problem is, I'm pretty sure those 3 are wizards. They'll be hard to catch. Happy noted. You're right, and you're the only one we have right now, so good luck, Lucy said bluntly. Last time I checked, you're a wizard too. Happy replied nervously. Lucy gasped and clasped her hands together excitedly. I just had a brilliant idea, she squealed. Nothing good can come of this. Happy whimpered. What are you doing out here? Mocha asked, walking over to Lucy. Chief, the whole village called out. We don't have much time, sir. The enemy is going to attack any second now. Lucy warned. Enemy? Mocha said, confused. The ones responsible for the curse that transformed your people. They've been hiding in the old temple in the jungle. Lucy informed. I don't care who's in the temple. Why haven't you destroyed the moon? Mocha demanded. Well, you see, it wasn't the moon that did this to you exactly, but now we know who did. Lucy replied. You lie. Do what I asked of you. Mocha insisted. Chief, please, you have to calm down, one villager said, trying to restrain Mocha as he struggled. Come on, let's go, another villager said, dragging Mocha away. Lucy sighed. He doesn't mean any of that, he's just upset. He's been like this since Bobo died, a villager explained. Poor man. I know how to trap the enemy, Lucy said confidently. We'll be happy to help if you need us, he replied. Lucy smirked. I'm the greatest celestial wizard fairy tale has, so why don't you just leave it to me? You don't have to worry, it'll be a piece of cake, Lucy assured, thinking to herself, I've always wanted to say that. Now if only Naruto-kun were here to hear me say those words. Somebody's starting to get cocky, Happy mumbled. Open. Gate of the Maiden. Virgo. Lucy shouted, and a pink-haired maid appeared and bowed. All the villagers stared in amazement. She's cute, a male villager said. She's not that cute, Lucy replied. Oh yeah, that's the key from Everloo I gave you after the Eisenwald incident. Happy said. Lucy smiled and nodded. Princess, I have completed the task, Virgo said. Good work, Virgo. My plan is going to work perfectly. Lucy said confidently. I'm not so sure, Virgo disagreed. What did you just say? Lucy replied, slightly irritated. Hey Lucy, Happy called out. Yeah, what is it? Lucy replied. I really hate to break it to you, but I think you might be mistaken, Happy said insensitively. Wow, thanks a lot for the encouragement, Lucy replied sarcastically. I just don't think anybody's going to fall for your trap because it's the oldest trick in the book. Happy insisted. Lucy smirked. Now don't be silly, a pitfall trap will get them every time, Lucy said. But you can tell what it is just by looking at it. Happy pointed out. It doesn't matter because there is only one way to get into the village, so the enemy will have to go over it if they want in, Lucy responded. Well, I still think there's no way they're going to fall for it, Happy said again. Me either, a female villager agreed. I'm sorry, but I agree with them, another villager said. Yes, I have to concur, Virgo added. Not you too. Go ahead and doubt me, you'll see, Lucy said. Ms. Lucy. It looks like there's somebody headed this way, the gatekeeper shouted. Lucy gasped. That's got to be them. Open the gate. Lucy commanded. Right, the villager replied, and the gate began to rise. Now come to Mama. Lucy mumbled. But as it turned out, it was just Natsu carrying an injured Gray. Hey guys. Are you okay? Natsu shouted. Lucy screamed in shock. Natsu. Happy and two other villagers shouted. Stay right there. Don't come any closer. Lucy shouted, waving her hands frantically. What? Natsu said, confused as he continued to run. Natsu. Stop please. Lucy begged, and Natsu finally came to a halt just in front of Lucy's trap. Lucy sighed in relief. What's with the grass? Natsu asked, noticing Lucy's trap but not realizing what it was. He stepped onto it, and Lucy screamed in panic. Soon, Natsu fell into the pit, while Lucy and the other villagers stared in shock. He actually fell for it, one villager said flatly. Yeah, I'm sorry we ever doubted you, another villager apologized. It's ruined, Lucy said, comically disappointed. Very funny, but we don't have time to play practical jokes on each other, Natsu said irritably. Don't talk to me, it was Lucy's idea, Happy replied. I should have known. Natsu exclaimed. It wasn't a joke, it was a trap. Lucy shook her head in protest. I'm glad you're okay, I was worried about you, Happy said, relieved, peering down at Natsu along with Lucy and the other villagers. Yeah, I'm fine, but Gray's out of commission, Natsu replied. The guy in the mask really did a number on him? Lucy asked. Gasped when he finally realized he was free of the ice. Hey, the ice is gone. But it must have cracked when I fell, he exclaimed, surprised. See? Told you the pitfall would work. Lucy said sheepishly. Excuse me, princess, but I think the spell broke when he left the caster's range of magic, Virgo corrected. I'm free. Natsu shouted joyfully. Gray was gently laid on the ground. Gray, if only Naruto were here. I bet this kind of injury would be nothing for him to heal, Lucy said sadly. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. But why haven't Lion's lackeys made it here? Natsu asked. That's a good question. They left the village before you, but you got here first. I wonder what's taking them so long, Lucy pondered. Yeah, and with Gray and that giant ice cube I was pretty slow, Natsu added. Lucy smirked, holding up a fist. Alright everyone. Hurry up and cover that hole. Lucy commanded. Natsu stared blankly. They're not gonna fall for that, he said. Over there, a villager shouted, pointing up at the sky as the team looked up. In the sky, Angelica flew through the air, spinning its tail. It's a giant flying rat, one villager alerted. And it's carrying a bucket, another added. What? But now my pitfall trap is totally pointless. Lucy shouted in frustration. I didn't realize the double poison jelly took so long to prepare, Sherry said, surprised as she, Toby, and Yuka stood on top of Angelica. We timed it perfectly. Those wizards were able to make it back to the village, Yuka said. We cannot rest until the demon Deliora is revived for the Cold Emperor. Anyone who dares to stand in our way must be eliminated, Sherry added. The bucket Angelica carried tilted over, pouring a sizable green droplet over the village. Lucy widened her eyes and held her hands out, as if trying to catch the droplet as it headed toward her. Jelly! Lucy wondered. Watch out! Natsu shouted as he immediately pushed Lucy away from the droplet, sensing that it was a harmful substance. Lucy whimpered in fear. That smell! I knew that stuff was dangerous, Natsu said, looking back at the hole the droplet had made. That big flying rat has a bucket full of it, a villager shouted fearfully. No, they're going to dump it right on us, another added. Idiots, Yuka said in disgust as Natsu glared at him. Who would have thought the moon drip could turn these people into beasts? Yuka lamented. They look like the demon children of Deliora. Sherry added as Toby growled, while Natsu continued to glare at the three. Angelica, you do the honors, Sherry commanded. Angelica squealed, pouring the entire bucket of poison over the village. How are we going to protect ourselves from that jelly? Lucy shouted frantically, comic tears streaming down her face. I want everybody to get to the center of the village. Natsu shouted, running. Lucy gasped as she looked over to the pink-haired dragon slayer. Ready to fly, Happy? Natsu asked. Aye, sir. Happy replied, spreading his wings and flying. Natsu leaped into the air as Happy quickly caught him and carried him above the jelly. All the villagers rushed to the center of the village just as Natsu instructed. I'm not going. I'm not leaving Bobo's grave. Mocha refused, clutching onto his son's tombstone. But Chief, that jelly's going to get you, a villager shouted. Flames of my right hand. Flames of my left hand. You put them together. You get Fire Dragon. Brilliant flames. Natsu shouted as his two lit-up hands collided, turning into one giant fireball that he threw into the center of the jelly. As soon as the fire hit the center, it exploded and spread apart. He dispersed it. Yuka said in shock. That boy's a fire wizard? Sherry exclaimed, astonished. The remaining jelly came flying down, seemingly hitting Mocha. Oh no, Chief, a villager shouted. But Mocha was saved by Virgo, who held him under her arms. You wish to punish him for disobeying you? Virgo asked. Virgo! Lucy shouted joyfully. When the remaining jelly fell onto the village, it was completely gone. The village has been completely dissolved. This is terrible, one villager complained. Is anybody hurt? Another asked. Bobo's grave is still standing. Mocha said in shock, seeing his son's tombstone still upright, but it was immediately kicked over by Yuka as the other two approached the villagers. Mocha gasped, widening his eyes while Natsu's eyes were shadowed by his bangs. The Cold Emperor ordered us to eradicate the village and its people. We were trying to show mercy by making your deaths quick and painless, but since that didn't work, we'll have to resort to bloodshed, Sherry said as Natsu glared at the enemy and Lucy scowled. 50 villagers, 2 wizards. It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, Yuka estimated. You ready? Natsu asked. Yeah, Lucy replied. Count again because there are 3 wizards. Happy added. Gray finally began to slowly open his eyes. How dare they? Such disrespect. They kicked over Bobo's grave. Mocha shouted in anger, needing to be restrained again. Hurry and take him somewhere safe, a villager ordered. Let me help you, Gray said, getting back on his feet. Gray, you came too, Lucy exclaimed. Not gonna happen, we don't need your help, Natsu said, his eyes shadowed by his bangs. Don't do this to me, ah. Gray shouted as Natsu punched him hard in the gut, causing him to groan in pain. Just lay down and rest, Natsu said. Someday I'll. Gray paused, collapsing as Natsu caught him in his arms. But why? Lucy asked. He's giving Gray some tough love. Natsu knows he's in no condition to fight, so he had to stop him. I mean, it's what Whiskers would have done too, Happy explained. That means, deep down, they really do care, Lucy mumbled quietly. Can you look after him for us? Lucy asked. No problem, Miss Lucy. All right, let's go, the villager replied as the others retreated. We're not leaving until every person in this village is gone, Angelica? Sherry commanded. Angelica screeched and leaped into the air, flying toward the wizards. Natsu ducked down while Lucy was nowhere to be found. We're not going to let you get away with this. Oh no. I got excited and grabbed on. Lucy shouted frantically as she held onto Angelica's enormous claws. Yep, she's a bit reckless, Happy commented, while Natsu added, more like out of her mind. Leave the villagers alone. They didn't do anything to deserve this. Lucy shouted, starting to knock on the claw. Sherry looked over, exclaiming, "What does she think she's doing? Are you ticklish?" Lucy asked, attempting to tickle the giant rat. "Try all you want, it's not going to work," Sherry replied arrogantly. But to everyone's surprise, Angelica began laughing uncontrollably. "Angelica?" Sherry called out as the giant rat's tail stopped spinning and Angelica paused midair, still giggling from Lucy's antics. "Angelica, you have to fight it. Keep spinning your tail," Sherry shouted, but it was too late as Angelica began to fall. "We're going down," Sherry shouted in panic. "I did it," Lucy exclaimed before screaming in fear. "Why did I do this?" Lucy cried as the three crashed to the ground, with Natsu watching and sweating nervously. Thank goodness Whiskers wasn't here, Natsu thought. "Oh great, he's going to be upset," Yuka muttered. "I don't have any ticks." Toby shouted irritably. "I wasn't talking about you," Yuka replied. "Do you think she made it? That giant rat might have crushed her." Natsu wondered, and Happy sighed. "If so, she's probably in trouble. I'll go check on her," Happy said, spreading his wings and flying off. "Thanks, be careful," Natsu replied. Natsu turned back to face the other two. "I'll stay here and deal with them," he said, leaping forward and knocking Toby out of the way with a powerful blow. Natsu glanced at Yuka, who was looking over at Toby and Natsu. Natsu shot fire at Yuka, aiming to catch him off guard, but Yuka quickly raised a blue shield to block it. "A wizard who can breathe fire? I see. Don't tell me you're the salamander from Fairy Tail I've heard so much about," Yuka said, but Natsu only glared back at him. Toby groaned and got back up effortlessly. "I'm fine," he shouted. "You know we used to be members of a famous guild ourselves, so you shouldn't underestimate us. Iron Rock Jura was part of the same guild. Surely you've heard of Lamia Scale." Yuka smirked while Toby nodded in agreement. But Natsu didn't seem to care, shooting flames at Yuka again, startling him as he fumbled to maintain his shield. "Hey, cut it out. Listen when I'm talking to you," Yuka shouted angrily. "Why would I care what guild you're from or who the other members are? We also have the famous Titania Urza and the Fairy Tail Ninja. We came here to help the villagers, and you're the one who put them in danger, making you Fairy Tail's enemy. That gives me more than enough reason to fight you." Natsu retaliated, glaring at Yuka. "Hey Toby, just stay back. You don't need to get involved, I've got this," Yuka said confidently. Toby nodded in agreement. Yuka then moved his hand out. "Wave," he shouted, sending a blue wave-like structure similar to his shield at Natsu. "I'm going to tear that thing apart." Natsu shouted, igniting his fist and preparing to counter the attack, but he was too late as Yuka's wave reached him, forcing him to jump to evade it. "Oops, guess you weren't ready for that," Yuka smirked, but Natsu responded by opening his mouth and shooting another round of flames at Yuka, who deflected it with his wave once more. "The energy from my hand nullifies all types of magic, which means none of your spells will work against me," Yuka declared. "So that's why my fire couldn't break through his barrier." "I get it," Natsu said quietly, narrowing his eyes. "I wonder what would happen if Whiskers used his ninjutsu on this guy," Natsu thought. "I specialize in anti-wizard magic from my time with the Lamia Scale Guild, and I'm sure you can understand why. No matter how strong they might be, all wizards are powerless against me, even you," Yuka shouted, launching another wave at Natsu, who evaded it once again. "Oh yeah," Natsu shouted, charging at Yuka. "Wave!" Yuka shouted again, forming his barrier just as Natsu's punch landed just outside of it. "Like I told you, your magic is useless against my wave," Yuka reminded him, but Natsu smirked. "That doesn't mean I'm going to let you off the hook. I'll just have to crush you without it," Natsu declared, swinging his fist at the barrier. To everyone's surprise, Natsu's fist broke through, shocking Yuka. But Natsu soon cried out in discomfort as his hand got caught inside the barrier. "You put your hand inside a vortex of magic energy, not a smart move," Yuka said, but he was even more shocked when Natsu pushed his whole body into the vortex, startling both Yuka and Toby. "He's pushing his whole body inside the wave." Toby shouted in disbelief. "Your magic is no match for my brute strength. So what are you going to do now?" Natsu smirked, laughing triumphantly. "He's crazy, Yuka. Watch out," Toby warned, but Yuka smirked back. "You broke through my wave, but you're stuck, salamander. Your flames won't work now that you're inside," Yuka said confidently. "But I can still use them outside. And you just gave me a great idea. Fire Dragon!" Natsu shouted. "He's using his flames as a booster to increase the power of his punch." Yuka shouted nervously. "Flame Elbow!" Natsu finished, delivering a powerful blow to Yuka's face, sending him flying. Yuka finally came to a stop, lying there in shock. "That's one down." Natsu smiled. "Man, you're awesome," Toby complimented. "You're about to see just how awesome I am firsthand." Natsu replied. "I'm not scared because I'm even stronger than Yuka. Check out my Mega Jellyfish Paralyzing Claws," Bet you'll never guess what these can do. Toby smirked as his fingers grew longer and greener. Paralyze you? Natsu guessed. Whoa, how did you know that? Hey, do you have ESP or something? Toby asked in disbelief. No, you're just really clueless, Natsu replied nonchalantly. Toby immediately charged at Natsu, swinging his hands. Natsu easily dodged Toby's attacks. Nobody talks to me like that. Toby shouted angrily. Watch it. Natsu replied. With just one swipe from my claws, you'll be frozen in place. Toby said confidently, slashing at Natsu repeatedly, but Natsu evaded each attack effortlessly. Hey man, hold on a sec. You've got a little something right here, Natsu said, pointing to his forehead. Toby paused and mimicked Natsu's gesture, only to be met with a jolt of electricity that left him paralyzed, screaming in pain as he collapsed to the ground. Well, that was easy. Those guys were a joke. Here we go, Natsu said, walking over to Bobo's grave. He picked it up and set it back on the ground. We're going to find a way to change your people back to normal, Bobo. I promise you I will avenge your death. Excuse me, Cold Emperor. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was wondering why you chose to spare that wizard's life, Gray, a man with green hair and a red demon mask asked curiously. No reason other than I don't feel the need to shed any more blood, Lion replied. You say that, but ordering your minions to attack those villagers tells a different story. It seems you have a soft spot for your former rival, the masked man remarked. Lion scoffed quietly. Nonsense. I simply don't desire to get any more blood on my hands. But if he gets in my way again, I won't hesitate to eliminate him, Lion stated. The masked man smirked. That's good. I'm glad, he replied. Lucy groaned, holding her head in pain as she lay on the ground. She pushed herself up slightly, using her hand for support. Wait, where's that strange girl? Lucy wondered. Meanwhile, Sherry was sobbing angrily. Do you have any idea what you've done? It's terrible. Because of you, the Cold Emperor will no longer trust me. He won't love me anymore. Sherry cried. Love? Lucy mumbled, intrigued. Sherry wiped her teary eyes. And look what you did to Angelica. I'll make you pay. Sherry shouted angrily. Bring it on. Let's see what you've got. Lucy challenged, unfazed. Sherry conjured a magic circle, her voice filled with rage. Lucy stumbled back as a large shadow loomed over her. She turned to see a tree with a face, frozen in place. That tree is alive. Lucy exclaimed in shock. As Sherry continued to shout in fury, the animated tree lunged at Lucy. She dodged just in time and pulled out a celestial key. Open. Gate of the Golden Bull. Taurus. Lucy shouted, and a giant cow wielding a massive axe appeared. I'm not a perv, I'm just a big fan of pretty ladies. Moo. Taurus mooed, charging at the tree and swinging his axe. Nice, Taurus. Lucy cheered. Who? Why don't you reward me with a smooch? Taurus mooed again. What kind of celestial wizard makes her spirit say things like that? You disgust me. Sherry retorted. I didn't make him say it. I hate when he's like that. Lucy shot back as Taurus simply mooed. Sherry smirked. Well, your kind won't like my magic and you're about to find out why, she said ominously. Lucy pointed at Sherry, directing Taurus to attack. Taurus, go. Lucy commanded. Moo. Taurus mooed, charging at Sherry. But suddenly he stopped mid-charge. Lucy gasped in confusion as Sherry chuckled wickedly. In a shocking twist, Taurus turned and charged at Lucy, swinging his axe. Lucy screamed in fear, barely dodging the attack. What are you doing? Stop it. Lucy shouted as Taurus continued to swing his axe, forcing her to evade frantically. What's gotten into you? Lucy cried as Taurus let out another loud moo. She gasped in fear as he slammed his fists down, pinning her to the ground. Miss Lucy, I can't control my movements. Taurus finally spoke, and Lucy gasped in shock. Marionette attack magic, do you like it? It allows me to control any living thing, except for humans, of course. It works well on your spirit friend, Sherry explained, twirling her fingers. Lucy gritted her teeth in frustration. Please let me go, she begged. I wish I could, Miss Lucy. I can't help it. She's controlling my every move. Taurus replied. Close. Gate of the Golden Bull. Lucy shouted, trying to send Taurus back to the spirit world, but it didn't work. She grunted in frustration. I thought celestial gates couldn't be closed unless both parties consented, Sherry reminded her. Close the gate. Taurus, please. Lucy pleaded. Beg all you want, but it won't make a difference, Sherry said. Taurus. Lucy shouted again. Oh, I know. How about a round of Russian roulette punches? Close your eyes and punch until you hit something. Sherry ordered. Reluctantly, Taurus squinted his eyes shut and threw a random punch. Lucy gasped and ducked to avoid it. Let's see how long you can keep dodging, Sherry taunted. Taurus, in pain and unwilling, threw another punch in Lucy's direction, which she dodged again. Taurus, stop. Lucy begged. I want to but... Taurus exclaimed, slamming his fist down again as Lucy screamed and moved to avoid the attack. Sherry continued to control and taunt. Aren't all fairy tale wizards as pathetic as you? This is just sad. Sherry mocked. Taurus, remember the contract you made with me. Snap out of it. Lucy shouted. So your name is Lucy? You have a really nice figure. Look at you. Taurus squealed. I never would have imagined the Zodiac's golden bull would be such a pervert. I don't know if I want to go through with this, Lucy said doubtfully. Moo. Taurus mooed, causing Lucy to jump. There's no need to worry, pretty lady. If you make a contract with me, I'll do everything I can to protect you and your lovely self. Taurus assured. Promise? Lucy asked. I swear. Taurus mooed excitedly. Taurus finally began to regain control, his eyes slowly returning to normal. You promised me you would always protect me. Lucy shouted. Taurus mooed louder, clutching his head in pain. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Just finish her off already. Sherry demanded. Taurus raised his arm again, preparing to strike his own celestial wizard. You heard what she said. We can send you back, but we have to work together. You have to fight it, Taurus. Lucy shouted again. Taurus's arm came down, seemingly ready to finish Lucy off, but it halted just inches from her face as she stared up in shock. Moo. Taurus made one last move before vanishing and returning to the spirit world. Lucy raised her hands in triumph. It worked, she exclaimed, filled with joyful relief. I can't believe it. My marionette attack magic failed me. How could this happen? Sherry said, her voice filled with disbelief. Oh wow. I've gotten stronger. Watch out. You're dealing with a full-fledged member of Fairy Tale now. Lucy smirked, pulling out her belt whip and preparing to end the battle. See you later, everyone. You managed to close the gate even while I was in control, Sherry said, still a bit in shock. I guess that means I'm stronger than you. Lucy replied, stretching out her whip and preparing to finish the battle. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Remember, my power allows me to take control of any celestial spirit you might summon, Sherry smirked. Don't be so sure. I've got a few powerful spirits up my sleeve. Open. Gate of the Canis Minor. Nicora. Lucy shouted, summoning Plu the Nicora. Isn't he the cutest little thing? Oh, I'm in love. Sherry squealed. Could you stop talking about love all the time? It's getting old, Lucy said irritably. Well, someone's bitter. Marionette attack. Now you're my puppet. Sherry shouted, attacking Plu with her puppet magic. Plu's eyes glowed purple, similar to when Taurus was being controlled. Plu? Not you too. Lucy exclaimed as Plu charged at her, ready to tackle her to the ground. However, Plu's attacks turned out to be harmless. Sherry's sweat dropped while Lucy stood there, completely unfazed. Lucy smirked. You're kidding me? Sherry shouted in shock and disbelief. I knew you'd fall for that. Lucy grinned and began swinging her whip, lashing out at Sherry, who dodged the attack. You deliberately summoned a weak spirit. Sherry realized. That's right. I knew that if I called forth little Plu, it would make your spell pointless. Lucy explained, lashing at Sherry again, who dodged once more. Geez, I release you from command, Sherry commanded. Immediately, Plu stopped his antics and began bowing apologetically. Lucy giggled. Oh, you didn't mean it. Now go back, okay? Lucy soothed, and Plu vanished. Marionette attack, rock doll? Sherry shouted, holding her hands up as rocks began to levitate around her. Lucy smirked. Looks like we're going in circles, aren't we? I use my spirit to destroy that, you take control of it, then I close the gate. Lucy paused when she found herself facing a giant rock monster. Lucy screamed frantically. It's like we're playing cat and mouse. I love that game. Let's see what you can do, little mouse. Do you think you can beat my rock doll? Sherry taunted. Now I'm in trouble. I don't think I have a spirit strong enough to destroy that thing. Lucy shouted fearfully. The rock monster roared and slammed its rocky fists down at Lucy, who dodged frantically. She began fleeing from the monster as it came down for another attack, which she narrowly avoided. Not good. Not good at all. Lucy exclaimed. Oh man, I wish Naruto were here. This kind of attack would be no sweat for him, she thought. Don't let her get away, rock doll. Let's teach that foolish girl a lesson. Sherry commanded. Who are you calling a little girl? We're about the same age. I might even be a little older. Lucy retorted. It's not a good idea to keep babbling like that unless you want us to catch you. Sherry taunted with a smirk. Lucy was scared and frantically pulled her chain of celestial keys. Which celestial spirit could help? She wondered, glancing at her keys while running from the rock monster and Sherry. You better hurry. If you don't start moving faster, we're going to catch up with you. Sherry said mischievously as the rock monster came down for another attack. Lucy dodged again. Lucy kept running until she reached a cliff. She looked back and screamed when she saw the rock monster about to stomp on her. I command you to crush her flat. Sherry shouted as the rock monster slammed its feet down. Lucy barely escaped, landing on the edge of the cliff, which began to crack, startling her. Hold on. Isn't this a cliff? Lucy shouted, freezing as the cliff eventually broke off the mountainside, and she plummeted down onto the beach shore. Dazed, Lucy lay there. Finish her, rock doll, Sherry ordered, and her rock doll jumped off. Lucy sprang back to life and ran for her life as the rock doll came crashing down, narrowly escaping. There's nowhere to run, Blondie, Sherry shouted. Lucy stopped in front of the sea and gasped as realization hit her. The sea! I could summon Aquarius from here, she thought, gazing out at the water. Looking back, she saw Sherry and her rock doll approaching. It looks like the cat's finally going to catch the mouse. Sherry cackled. Lucy stared in frustration, unsure whether to summon Aquarius. Not while the fox is here. Naruto shouted, smirking as he suddenly appeared in front of Sherry and her rock doll, delivering a powerful spinning kick to the rock monster's face, knocking it over as it crashed against the cliff behind them. Lucy stared in utter shock. Sherry toppled over as her monster fell, successfully destroying the rock doll. She groaned in pain. Naruto landed back on the ground and smiled warmly at Lucy. She couldn't help but smile back, relieved to see him. But she knew if Naruto was here, then Erza was likely nearby too. Naruto-kun, you saved me, Lucy said joyfully. Hey Luchan. Sorry I'm late. Are you okay? I hope that crazy girl didn't do too much. Naruto chuckled. Yeah, I'm fine. Wait, if you're here, then that means Erza is here too, Lucy said nervously. Naruto sighed. Oh Luchan, why did you go with Natsu and Happy? More importantly, why didn't you try to stop them? He asked, his smile fading. I tried. But I saw a celestial key and got kind of excited. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, Lucy apologized. Naruto chuckled. It's okay, but next time, stick with jobs downstairs, alright? Lucy nodded. Plus, the one you should be worrying about isn't even me, it's Erza-chan, Naruto warned, chuckling afterward. Lucy's eyes widened nervously, and she slumped over comically. Meanwhile, Sherry was watching Naruto, trying to figure out who he was and why he looked so familiar. The spiky blonde hair, the whiskers, the long red coat, and the headband. Don't tell me he's the one. Sherry narrowed her eyes and slowly got back on her feet. The blondes noticed and turned to face their enemy. I still can't believe I lost, Sherry exclaimed in disbelief. Lucy smirked. Oh yeah. You just did, in fact, you lost to the famous fairy tale ninja. Naruto chuckled at the exchange. Sherry's eyes widened. No wonder you seemed so familiar. She groaned, collapsing onto the ground from exhaustion. Naruto grinned. Who would have thought people here would know me too? Lucy giggled in response. Although the burning light in my heart has been extinguished far too soon, my love for you is genuine, Cold Emperor, Sherry declared dramatically. Naruto scoffed. You're not going to die, so tone down the drama, okay? He wondered, wait, who the heck is the Cold Emperor? Angelica. Avenge your fallen master, Sherry commanded weakly. Despite her condition, Angelica leaped down, ready to attack the two blondes. But I thought that rat was one of her puppets, Lucy shouted, turning to see the giant rat about to crash down on them. Naruto rushed to Lucy's side, grabbing her and pushing them both away just in time as Erza swooped in, slashing the giant rat with her sword and stopping Angelica in her tracks. Erza landed gracefully on the sand, while Angelica lay defeated beside Sherry. The two groaned as Lucy noticed Erza standing protectively in front of them, her back to them, sword in hand, and an unhappy expression on her face. Naruto groaned as he slowly got up alongside Lucy. Hey, just in time, Erza-chan, Naruto smiled. Hey Erza. Lucy greeted cheerfully, but Erza shot Lucy an angry glare, sending shivers down her spine. Oops, did I forget that she's mad at us for breaking guild rules and taking an S-class request without permission? Lucy thought nervously. Naruto sighed. Oh boy. He sweat dropped. Lucy, I assume you know why Naruto-kun and I are here, right? Erza asked sternly. To take us back? Promise you won't hurt me? Lucy said nervously, clutching Naruto's arm, who only sighed in response. From afar, the masked man chuckled. Interesting, the famous fairy tale ninja joins the fray, he thought with a sinister grin. Hey Lucy. I've been looking all over for you. I'm glad you're okay. I was Happy stopped mid-sentence, trembling in fear when he saw Lucy clutching Naruto's arm, both of them visibly shaken in front of Erza. Happy zoomed back, rushing to Natsu as fast as he could. But soon he found himself hanging upside down, with Erza holding onto his tail. Happy was terrified. Now where's Natsu? Urza demanded. Lucy gripped Naruto's arm even tighter. Listen, I'm sorry we came here without permission, but some really awful things have been happening on this island. There's this guy trying to revive a frozen demon, and the villagers are suffering because of the magic spell they're using. They've turned into monsters. We thought if we worked together, we might be able to help them, Lucy explained. Naruto sighed. What do you think, Urza? What should we do? None of that is my concern or Naruto-kun's, Urza replied sternly. Naruto looked at Lucy sympathetically. Please, Urza, let us finish the job. We can't leave things this way. Lucy begged, but Urza remained unmoved, picking up her sword and pointing it just beneath Lucy's chin. Lucy gasped, clutching Naruto's arm tighter than ever. I don't think you understand. The three of you have betrayed Master Makarov. You'll be lucky if you walk away with your lives, Urza replied angrily. Okay, now I'm scared, Lucy thought, trembling. Naruto noticed her fear and sighed. Come on, Urzan, you don't have to be so harsh. Gray slowly opened his eyes, lying in bed for a while before sitting up and taking in his surroundings. Where am I? Gray wondered. He got up and walked out of the tent he was in and into the village. Oh, thank goodness, I'm glad you're awake. A girl with navy hair just reaching her chin said in relief. What is this place? Gray asked. It's a storage area not far from the village. Everything was destroyed in the attack last night, so we decided to come here for shelter, she answered. The whole village? That's horrible. Gray exclaimed, finally remembering Lion's orders. I can't believe it, they actually went and did it, he thought in dismay, clutching his chest in pain. You know, it was a miracle that Natsu and Lucy were here. Thanks to their bravery, everyone was able to make it out alive, the girl added. So are they still around here somewhere? Gray asked. Yes, they wanted me to show you to their tent once you woke up, the girl replied. Which tent? Gray asked in confusion. The girl pointed to her left. They're waiting for you right in that big one over there, she answered, indicating a fairly large tent. Gray walked over and stood at the entrance before finally entering. Inside, however, were only Urza and Naruto with Lucy and Happy tied up. Urza sat on a barrel, her legs crossed, while Naruto leaned against another barrel, arms crossed. Lucy and Happy were trembling and comically crying. You made us wait, not smart, Urza said sharply. Urza, Whiskers. Why are they tied up? Gray asked in shock. Lucy's caught us up to speed with everything that's happened. I thought you were sent here to stop Natsu and these two fools. Needless to say, I'm disappointed, Urza said sternly. Naruto looked down and sighed. Where is he anyway? Gray asked. Funny, we were just about to ask you the same question, Naruto replied, still disappointed. That's something we'd all like to know, Urza added, her voice still stern. The last time I saw him, he was fighting against the Cold Emperor's lackeys, but when we went back to the village, there was no sign of him. Wherever he is, I hope he's okay. Since we couldn't find him, Urza demanded we take her to you, but I had no idea where you ended up, Lucy explained. I did some scouting in the air, and from up there, I could see the villagers had moved to the storage area. Happy finished. Okay, we're going to search for Natsu, and then we're going back to the guild, Urza said firmly. But we can't leave the island just yet. If Lucy filled you in, then you know exactly what the villagers are going through right now, Gray replied. And what would be your point? Urza asked, but Gray only stared at her in shock. Natsu yawned as he walked toward the temple. I finally came up with a perfect plan, and then I go and oversleep, he scolded himself, stepping into the doorway of the temple. All right then, let's do this. Natsu smirked. Naruto and I came here solely to apprehend these individuals for breaking the rules of the guild. I'm not interested in anything else, Urza said firmly while Naruto contemplated the situation. Rules? Have you even seen what's happened to these people on the island? Gray asked, his frustration growing. I have, Urza replied, unfazed. And you're still going to turn your back on them? Gray pressed angrily. Their request is posted on the boards of every guild hall. The villagers would be better served by wizards who are cleared for S-class. You're not qualified, Urza responded calmly. How can you be so heartless? Gray challenged, and Urza shot him a fierce glare. What did you say? She asked, her voice sharp. That's no way to talk to Urza, Gray. Happy interjected frantically. You're such a kiss-up, Lucy muttered. Have you chosen to defy the guild's rules as well? You'll face the same punishment, Urza warned, holding her sword up to Gray's chin. Naruto stepped in front of Gray, grabbing the sword and pulling it closer to his heart, shocking everyone, including Urza. Urza narrowed her eyes at Naruto. Naruto, what do you think you're doing? Step aside, she demanded, irritation evident in her tone. Naruto closed his eyes and looked down, while Gray remained in shock. Now, Urza, I think that's going too far, Naruto said calmly. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I am only punishing the rule breakers here, Urza insisted. Whiskers, Gray muttered in disbelief. Naruto turned to him, offering a reassuring smile, his kind blue eyes meeting Gray's. Urza, my old sensei used to say that in the ninja world, those who break the rules are considered scum, but those who abandon their friends are far worse, Naruto began, surprising Urza. I think we should allow them to complete this job. After all, starting a job and not finishing it would make Fairy Tail look bad, wouldn't it? Naruto pointed out, prompting Urza to finally lower her sword. Whiskers, thank you, Gray said, stepping aside to walk past Naruto and Urza. But Gray, don't think you're off the hook yet. You and the others are still going to be punished for breaking the rules, got it? Naruto reminded him. Right, Gray replied. Listen, Urza, I see through this and you can't stop me, Gray said as he walked out of the tent. You're too nice, Naruto, Urza said, looking down. Naruto chuckled, while Lucy and Happy were astonished by his actions. Naruto, you're amazing. Lucy smiled. However, Urza turned to glare at Happy and Lucy, who trembled in fear once again. Please don't get mad at us. We don't have any control over Gray. Lucy shouted. He's not himself because he's fighting with his old friend. Happy added. But the two found themselves free from the ropes binding them. Lucy and Happy gasped in shock, while Naruto smiled. These events are intolerable. We'll deal with the immediate problems for now, Urza stated. Thank you. Lucy and Happy exclaimed joyfully, while Naruto simply chuckled. This doesn't change anything. You heard what Naruto said, you're still going to be punished, Urza said sternly. Yes, ma'am, Happy and Lucy replied nervously. Naruto smiled sheepishly. How pathetic, you're the only one left standing, Toby? Lion asked as he sat down. Those fairy tale wizards are quite impressive, he said with admiration. Hey, can we keep my little shock a secret? Toby asked. This unfortunate turn of events could jeopardize the resurrection of Deliora, a masked man said as he appeared. Zolty, you're as stealthy as ever, Lion complimented. If all goes well, the demon should awaken tonight, but we must keep an eye on those wizards. If they interrupt the moon drip ceremony, Deliora will remain frozen in ice. Salamander, Titania, and the fairy tale ninja are powerful. They could easily foil our plans, especially the fairy tale ninja with his all-seeing eye, Zolty explained. As always, you seem remarkably well informed. I can't say I'm worried, those fools may be strong, but they're no match for me, not even the fairy tale ninja, Lion said confidently, creating an icy aura around his palm. I was hoping you'd say that. It's reassuring, but still, allow me the honor of joining you in battle for old time's sake, Zolty suggested. Wait, I didn't know you were a wizard too. Toby exclaimed in shock. Yes, it's been a while since I've used it, but I dabble in a particular form of lost magic, Zolty replied. Sure, we could use another wizard, Lion said. Suddenly, the ceiling began to shake, with rubble crumbling down. It's an earthquake? Toby shouted. I don't think so, Lion said as the whole temple continued to tremble. It's all coming down. Toby yelled. Just then, Natsu burst through the walls, causing chaos and destruction, eventually making the whole temple tilt dangerously. Natsu even shot a hole through the ground. What is the meaning of this? Lion demanded angrily. We're in trouble. Toby said nervously. I should have known Salamander would make the first move. It appears we have a visitor, Zolty said as Lion approached the hole created by Natsu. They peered down to see Natsu standing at the center. Natsu chuckled. You know, I usually break things by accident. It's funny how hard it is when I'm trying to do it on purpose. Lion glared at the pink-haired dragon slayer. What are you doing here? He demanded. I'm knocking this place over so you won't be able to shine moonlight on that demon underground, Natsu replied, glaring back at Lion. Insolent fool. Who do you think you are? You dare challenge me? Lion shouted angrily. Okay, can someone explain this to me? Because I'm lost, Toby said. Evidently, this boy is the reason the temple is now tilted. He must have destroyed the support pillars on one side, causing the temple to shift. This will prevent any moonlight from shining on Deliora. It's an ingenious plan. I'm surprised he came up with it, Zolty explained. So, are you going to fight me or what? Natsu shouted, flames shooting from his feet as he stood on them like a platform. Flames shoot from his feet? Lion said in surprise. When we fought this guy, he was able to shoot fire from all over his body. Toby exclaimed. Natsu then used the flames beneath his feet as a boost and charged at Lion, colliding with him. Zolty and Toby watched in shock. But to their surprise, it was just an illusion. What the? He's not real. Natsu said, bewildered, glancing at Lion. Ice Make Eagle. Lion shouted, unleashing icy eagles toward Natsu. You can't dodge them in midair, he smirked. However, Natsu countered by exhaling fire, propelling himself downward to evade the icy projectiles. He quickly regained his footing and shot flames from his feet, aiming at Lion, who easily sidestepped the attack. What kind of ridiculous magic is this? Lion demanded, frustration evident in his voice. Fire Dragon roar. Natsu shouted, attempting to stand tall but stumbled again, falling back down. Very fortunate, Cold Emperor, luck is on your side, Zalti remarked with a smirk. Can we keep the whole Toby got burned incident a secret? Toby asked, looking singed. What did you do? Lion questioned sharply. Whatever do you mean? Zalti replied innocently. Don't play dumb with me. Your magic must have caused a hole in the floor. Lion snapped. Zalti chuckled. Don't you ever keep a watchful eye? Allow me to explain, sir. You're the only one strong enough to defeat Deliora, so it's imperative that you remain safe until its resurrection. Are you suggesting that I could fall victim to such weak magic? Lion asked, his anger rising as an icy aura enveloped him, chilling the room. Leave me. I can handle this myself. Once I finally defeat the demon, everyone will worship my name, Cold Emperor Lion. I've worked too hard to let a brat like him tarnish it, Lion declared emotionlessly. Natsu glared up at him from the hole. As you wish, Zalti said with a smirk. Natsu narrowed his. So you want to try to defeat Deliora? He asked, scowling. Are you kidding me? He seriously wants to fight that demon? Lucy exclaimed in shock as the team rushed toward the temple. The thing looks half dead already. So let me get this straight, you're going through all this trouble to melt that ice just so you can fight it? That's pretty messed up if you ask me, Natsu said, disgusted. I must rise up Yuar's legacy. I will not rest until I fulfill my dream. Lion replied, sending more ice eagles at Natsu, who dodged each one with agility. Why go this far? Can't you just challenge her and be done with it? Natsu asked while evading the attacks. Well, I would if I could, but your has been gone for years. Lion shot back. Natsu gasped. The woman who taught me how to use my magic, my master Yur, sacrificed everything to seal it away. Gray's words echoed in Natsu's mind. I didn't realize she died when she sealed it, Natsu said, surprised. Yes, but she'd still be alive if it wasn't for Gray. Lion shouted angrily, as an ice eagle formed behind Natsu. He turned around just in time to block the attack with his slightly bruised arms. Look, I don't know what happened to you in the past, but I do know what you're doing now is hurting a lot of innocent people. Since you don't seem to realize that, I'll have to knock some sense into you. Natsu declared, igniting his fists in preparation for battle. Even back when we were kids, Lion dreamed of surpassing Yuar's magical ability. Since she's gone and he can't challenge her directly, he believes it's up to him to defeat Deliora, as it's the one thing she couldn't do, Gray explained as the team listened intently. Naruto sighed sadly. Well, yeah, that would be the only way to challenge someone who's gone, Lucy stated. Happy agreed. Listen, there's something I never got to tell him. I kept it secret, Yor made me promise to never let him know, but I have to. Yor may not be with us, but she's still alive, Gray said, shocking everyone to their very core. Hey everyone. I hope you enjoyed the first chapter of the Rikudo Sannin of Fairy Tail. Please stay tuned for chapter 2, where Naruto meets 3 special fairy tale wizards. I do not own Fairy Tail or Naruto in any way, shape, or form. Hello again. Here is chapter 2. Chapter 3 will be here shortly. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for chapter 3, where Naruto officially meets the guild. I do not own Fairy Tail or Naruto in any way, shape, or form. Hi everyone. Finally. It feels like forever since I updated this story, and I apologize for the delay. If you want to blame someone, blame my dad. But it's finally here. Chapter 6. As you can see, I changed the plot a bit, but I hope it's not too big of a deal. I really hope you enjoy this chapter and stay tuned for the next one, Chapter 7. Don't forget to comment, follow, and favorite. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. It's me again. The anticipated Chapter 8 of the Rikudo Sannin is finally out. I know it feels like forever since I've updated the story, but here it is. I hope you enjoyed this chapter. Please stay tuned for Chapter 9, where the Lullaby arc begins. Please comment, favorite, and follow. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. Hey everyone. It's finally here. I'm so sorry to make you wait, but I hope the wait was worth it. Hope you enjoy Chapter 10. Stay tuned for the next chapter. I will be working on Chapter 11 real soon. I do not own Fairy Tail or Naruto in any way, shape, or form. Hey everyone. Left you on another cliffhanger. Don't worry though, I will be working on Chapter 12 real soon, so stay tuned. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. Phew, that was a long chapter. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Please stay tuned for the next chapter. Chapter 3. A new arc begins. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. 2 chapters in one day. That's a rare one, isn't it? Chapter 14 will be up soon. Hope you enjoyed Chapter 13. Stay tuned. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. Hey everyone! As you can see, a new arc is about to start, so enjoy. I'm going to have a lot of fun writing it. I hope you enjoy it too. Just a little warning though, I know there wasn't a lot of Naruto in this one, so bear with me. But please stay tuned for chapter 15. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. Hey everyone! Here is chapter 15. Enjoy! Please stay tuned for chapter 16. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry it took a little longer to upload, had school today. But chapter 16 is coming soon. Stay tuned. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. Hey everyone! Sorry for the late update. But here is chapter. I know there wasn't any Naruto in this chapter again, but do not worry. Naruto will come back along with Erza in the next chapter, chapter 17. So stay tuned. I will have lots of fun writing it. I do not own Naruto or Fairy Tail in any way, shape, or form. Hey everyone! What's up? Sorry for another late update, busy with homework, but here it is. And yes, Naruto has finally made an appearance. I hope you enjoyed this chapter and please stay tuned for chapter 18. I will have a lot of fun writing it. Also, a few shoutouts to some awesome supporters. Thank you all who have been supporting me and my story. It means so much to me. Just thinking about you all makes me more confident and motivates me to keep writing this story. When I saw that this story had 1K views, I was amazed because I never knew how successful this crossover could be. So thank you to all my followers. And please stay tuned for chapter 18. The truth is you are still alive, Gray said to the shock team. Still alive? Naruto asked in confusion. What do you mean? Erza inquired. It's been 10 years since Deliora attacked my hometown, Gray recalled, sadness washing over him. I've never seen such destruction. The whole place was wiped out in less than a day. Yor and Lion walked through the devastated area. I've heard of Deliora's destructive power, but I never expected this, she said in disbelief. From a distance, a young, weak Gray lay flat on his stomach, trapped beneath a giant rock. Yor noticed him. Lion, come here. We've got a survivor, she shouted. Lion turned around and gasped, Hey, are you all right? Gray groaned, slowly opening his eyes. Yor and Lion found me. They pulled me from the rubble, Gray continued. Deliora, you're going to pay for this. I'll stop you, I swear it, Gray vowed, tears streaming down his face as he laid flowers on a grave. Yor looked at him sympathetically. That vow is how it all began, Gray said. Gray panted heavily. Are you going to be able to keep up, Gray? I warned you, training with me can be tough, Yor said, turning to give him a reassuring smile. Yeah, but I'll do whatever it takes. I have to become stronger than Deliora. Someday I'm going to beat him. Gray vowed. Yeah, right, Lion scoffed. Okay, let's get started, Yor said. Fine, ready when you are, Gray confidently replied, only to gasp when he saw Yor change into her training attire. Whoa, what are you doing? Gray asked nervously. The first step is to get comfortable, Yor answered calmly. Gray's face turned red. Are you kidding me? You're crazy if you think I'm doing that in the snow. Back me up, Lion. Gray shouted, looking over to find Lion in a similar state. Now you're in the same boat? Gray exclaimed comically. Just hurry up and do it, kid. Come on, you want to learn magic, right? Lion smirked. I can't believe you're making me do this. It better not be a joke. Gray finally conceded reluctantly. Yor smiled. That's the spirit, Gray. If you want to control the cold, you have to become one with it. You'll get used to it soon, Yor said confidently. Gray stood there, shivering from the cold, while Lion appeared unfazed, though he was trembling just as much. I already have, Lion quivered. You're shivering just as much as I am, Gray replied irritably. Let's go, boys, Yor said, beginning to run. I thought you were going to teach me magic. Gray shouted. Just run. I don't want to do this beginner stuff either, Lion shot back as they followed Yor. I practice maker magic. Out of all the magical arts, I feel this one gives you the most creative freedom, Yor explained. Lion held out his hand and summoned an ice gorilla, startling Gray. In response, Yor playfully tapped Lion on the head. In fact, every wizard who practices maker magic has their own unique style. If you train hard, someday you'll create a style all your own, Yor's voice echoed. Who's the dark-haired boy? Did you pick up another student? A lady at the market asked. Yeah, his name's Gray. He's a bit of a rebel and doesn't want to follow the rules, Yor replied with a chuckle. And the other one's Lion, right? I bet when those two grow up, they're going to be quite the lookers, the lady said, winking. She held a bag full of food while Yor sat at the bar, munching on an apple. You think so? Yor asked nonchalantly. Yeah, would you mind saving one of them for me? She asked with a smile. Yor scoffed playfully. If you want those little headaches, you're welcome to them. You know, you're